No. But I bet you wish it I was.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How you all doing tonight? It's your girl Miracle Sims, and we are partying over here, y'all. Because guess what? We have reached 1,000 videos on the God, Sex, and Love channel, and your girl is super duper excited. And we are here to just celebrate tonight. So I just want to thank each and every one of you all that tune in and celebrate with us. You should notice that there is a link out there on my social media if you guys want to come and pop in and say hello and party with me and chit chat with me and things like that. But if not, in the meantime, your girl is just going to share a little history, share what this journey has been like, and everything like that. So feel free, comment, and everything. Well, you know what? Shout out to my husband. Show us some love. Hey. Thank you so much, hubby. I could not do this without you, and you already know. But yeah, man, I'm excited, y'all. I am excited. 1,000 videos. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I'm still like processing it, you know what I mean? But hey, to God be the glory for all things. So man, okay. Whew, y'all, I'm telling y'all, like I don't even know where to begin. Like, okay, I know most of you all, if you follow me here on God, Sex, and Love, you may have heard about me and my testimony and everything like that. But just in case you have not, hello, my name is Miracle Sims. I'm an actress. Now I'm an author and also an entrepreneur. And, long story short, man, I've had this passion project, God, Sex, and Love, on my heart and mind for years. To tell you just what I mean, I think it was like 2016 when I made the Facebook page. It's just that it wasn't available for nobody else to see. I just made it, and then I kept working towards things. Like I got the logo done. I got different things done over the years and was working towards getting towards this goal of having the God, Sex, and Love talk show. Now, those of you all that know me, then you may know, again, the inspiration for the talk show. But just in case you don't and you're tuning into this, let me tell you all in a nutshell. So long story short, you guys may know or may not know that basically as a single Christian woman, I was struggling with, wanting to be married and all those different things, right? And so as I was going through my journey, getting closer to God and asking him, like, hey, Lord, why am I not receiving the things that I desire? Where's my husband? All those things. I was looking for content, right? Because those that read the Bible, you know what the Bible has to say about premarital sex and everything like that, right? So, and I was trying my best. I'm not one perfect and I'm still not perfect, right? But I was trying my best, right? Because I had been raised to know what I was supposed to do. And so around that time, I was looking for content and I saw some different things out there. There were different like talk shows and things that had Christians on it. Like there were Christian talk shows and then there were the secular talk shows that would have like one person that's a Christian, right? But this is the issue that I saw back then. One, on the Christian talk shows, if I felt like they would only go so far with the conversation. And because of that, I couldn't fully relate. So that was one issue. And then when I looked at the secular talk shows, I noticed that they would overtalk the Christian person. And I'm over here like, I want to hear what that person has to say. And they would like overtalk that person and all of that. And I just was like, man, like, is anybody out there feeling the way I feel? Is anybody else out there single, horny, and Christian? We're trying to figure it all out, right? And so what I ended up doing, which is getting on my YouTube, it's the Ashes Miracle Sims YouTube. I was getting on my YouTube and I just was sharing my heart. I was telling everyone, in my first video, I told everyone, these are things I think about all the time. I think about God, sex, and my career. And I was like, if I don't think about anything else, these are the things I'm thinking about. Or if I'm not thinking about something in particular, right? And so who would have known back then that would be the beginning stages of what you all now know as God, Sex, and Love, or GSL, the talk show, and much, much more that has come from just stepping out on faith and walking into this path. So I'm just so excited. I'm very, very excited. But yeah, again, to God be the glory, because again, I was somebody that kind of got discouraged along the way. Like, how can I tell y'all? Basically, again, my platform, the Actress Miracle Sims YouTube, is proof of how I used to be. Basically, during that time, I was noticing that I was getting a few views here, a few views there. Sometimes people would comment or something like that. And I just would get discouraged because it's like, oh, well, nobody's watching, nobody's talking to me, and feeling some kind of way. And so I would start something and then I would stop. Then I would start something else and then I would stop. And then I would start something else and then I would stop. Well, what this milestone, this whole thing about reaching 1,000 videos on the God, Sex, and Love channel alone, like not even talking about everything else I got going on, that is growth, that's maturity, and that's faith in action. And I say that because I know that God has done something in me in this particular season now to just continue to go, no matter how many views, no matter how many subscribers, no matter how many supporters, and any of that stuff, in spite of whatever, I've just been motivated to stay consistent. Now I don't know if it's because I'm making up for lost time, because there was like a little gap in between the years that I was in Florida and when I came back home to Georgia and things like that. But yeah, I guess there's just a few things that have motivated me to just keep going in spite of. Before I keep going too long, let me go ahead and tell you guys this real quick. I want to pull up some banners. So, because basically, I want to shout out and thank everybody who has ever graced the God, Sex, and Love platform. And unfortunately, if I was to try to read those names out, I'll be reading out 135 names. So instead, I'm going to have them scroll on the bottom, and you guys can see the names of some of the individuals that have been featured on God, Sex, and Love, the channel in its entirety. I'm basing this off of the, I have a sign-in form that my guests usually, fill out. And so I'm basing it on that. It may or may not be accurate, but it's the best I can do without having to go and try to find a whole list of everybody that's been on here. So bear with me, but yeah, there's basically two long lists that you guys are going to see at the bottom. So let me get that started now so you guys can see while I continue to celebrate and talk to y'all. So yeah, that's how GSL came to life. Like, it started with me just being on YouTube, sharing my heart and everything like that. Becoming an idea that I wanted to make it a talk show. I had a gap in years between then and now. And then basically what happened was 2020. Now everybody knows, man. Everybody already knows what happened in 2020. But for me, there just was quite a few things that was happening at that time. So one, the way people felt about 2020, I felt about 2019, because we was already kind of like in this up and down, struggling place. I was pretty much at home. I was a new mom. And I felt like the Lord was telling me to go and start my business, get me a building and get me, somewhere to operate my business and things like that. And so I was working on that, trying my best to do that, and I did. But at the same time, there were so many ups and downs. And I'm like, Lord, you told me to go get a space, but things ain't panning out the way I thought. And I was confused about that. I didn't understand why. But then 2020 rolled around, right? And so, and I was this close. That's the other thing too. I was this close to start filming GSL the way I had imagined it to be. And lo and behold, COVID came. And so I found myself at home. And all I had at that time was that I could do, because I couldn't do my shows the way I used to. And so basically I could, sell. I have this wine business. And I'll just throw it up here. It's called miracleofwine.com. I do have a little sparklings in here as well for celebratory reasons. You know what I mean? We're celebrating and everything like that. So all I could do at that time was Miracle of Wine. But outside of that, like, I didn't have anything else that I could do. And so I kind of just put that out there to say, hey, I'll do virtual tastings. I'll do this, try to keep some funds coming in or whatever on my end. Because my husband's situation didn't change at all. Like, he, I guess, was essential. And so he was able to work the entire time. But me, I was just stay-at-home mom at that point, for real. But then the thing was, I don't know, I really just felt led to I'll tell y'all what happened. So long story short, in 2019, I was talking to my husband about God, Sex, and Love, and I was telling him, maybe I'll make it a blog. I just want to do something that's going to get this thing out here and out of my head. And he was telling me that you should make it a podcast. And I just was like, oh, you do this to me all the time. Every time I tell you I'm going to do one thing, you add more work to me. And so I kind of just brushed the idea off then. But in 2020, I found myself at home, couldn't do nothing else. The idea about podcasts came back up. And so I just decided to look into it. And I came across this app. It's called Anchor. And I saw that all I needed to do was basically start recording on this app to make the podcast. And so I decided to do that. I said, okay, fine. I'll make God, Sex, and Love a podcast, and we'll do it like that, just to get the idea out there, basically. And so, long story short, I was trying to debate. I'm like, well, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? How often am I going to do it? So I went back to my husband, talking to him and stuff. I'm like, hey, maybe I'm thinking about maybe like once a week, once a month. Maybe I'll just do this until the pandemic ends, whatever. He goes and says, well, really successful podcasts, they do every day. And I'm like, every day? What would I even talk about every day? And so that was my question at that time. But lo and behold, friends, that was the inspiration. After that and some prayer, I felt like the Lord was telling me to do daily inspiration. So that's what I started to do. That's what I kicked off, the whole God, Sex, and Love. Everything kicked off with the daily inspiration segment, The Juice, right? So the Juice, your daily dose of inspiration. That was the first thing that I started to do it every day. And a few months in, I found out about an opportunity to basically make GSL a talk show. And so it was a certain network that was looking for hosts and everything like that. And I pitched my idea and they liked it. And they gave me a slot. They gave me the 11:30 p.m. slot, y'all. But still, I was excited about it. They wanted me to make it a weekly show. And that's what got me to start doing the video content. Let me pause a minute in the story so I can switch up these names. Because like I said, there's a whole nother set of names, but the names that are scrolling below, just a reminder, are people that have been featured on the GSL platform since we started. So when did I kick off God, Sex, and Love? I kicked it off in April 1st, 2020. So that's when I kicked it off, to the public and started the first juice and everything, right? And first I was only recording audio. And then my niece was one of the first people to call me out. She was like, I want to see you, auntie, and for your juice, your daily dose, for your God, Sex, and Love. And that's the first time I felt weird about the name too. I didn't think about it until at the time when she's 7, little 7-year-old said God, Sex, and Love. And I was like, sounds kind of weird coming out of your mouth. But yeah, so she was the first one to call me out. I went on social media and asked y'all, I was like, hey, y'all want to see me record live in the mornings? And everybody said yes. I had 100% yes at that time. And I just was like, okay, well, as long as y'all understand that I'm not going to get dutied up, I'm probably going to be wearing my robe or whatever I look like in the morning, because it's 4 a.m, y'all. And as long as you understand that, then cool. I guess y'all understand. Y'all ain't have no complaints. And but then again, that's what kicked off everything. So I started doing videos of me recording the juice live every day. So next thing I know, months in, again, I got the opportunity to start doing the talk show. My very, very first episode, I want to shout out to Mr. and Mrs. English. Mr. Roderick and Shonda English was my very, very first guest here on the God, Sex, and Love talk show. And we talked about the importance of sex in marriage. I think that episode is epic. I think it's great. I think they were awesome guests. And I hope that they enjoyed themselves. Actually, they came back a few times to be part of panel discussions and everything like that. And yeah, that was the very first episode of the talk show, y'all. Like, man, and again, y'all know what we here celebrating, right? 1,000 videos, y'all. Like, okay, so I know a lot of them got to be the juice because again, I go live every day to do the juice, right? The daily dose of inspiration. But then the talk show itself has a lot as well. As you may know, the talk show comes out on Fridays now at 7 p.m. And we have everything from panel discussions, co-ed ones. We have male perspective, which is all men. We have girl chats. We have one-on-one discussions and interviews. And I've had so many amazing guests. Like I said, those names scrolling at the bottom are people that have been on this platform, sharing their testimonies, not holding back, being transparent. And just, I feel like filling in that gap that I was looking for back in the day. So I hope that the content is encouraging and inspiring, and I hope that it blesses you all. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy waking up in the morning and doing the juice. I enjoy doing the talk show. And I can't complain, man. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm living my dreams in a lot of ways. Speaking of dreams, let me go ahead and shout out my international dream team. I shout them out all the time, but I got to shout them out now because, again, we are celebrating the 1,000th video being posted on a YouTube for God, Sex, and Love. And I can't, go without shouting out these individuals. So the first person on my dream team, because basically what had happened was when I agreed to start doing the talk show on that other network, I was saying to myself, and I was getting another conversation with my husband. Them husbands come in handy every now and then, y'all. I was having another conversation with my husband, and I was like, they want me to do a talk show, and da da da. Like, this was the goal, this was the dream, this is what I wanted to do. And I was like, I got to find a new way to do it because it's the pandemic and all that, right? And so I'm like, well, I'll just do it virtually then. We'll just, we'll record it and everything like that. Now, I'm so used to editing my own content and doing everything alone. And yeah, but for that, I was like, you know what? I got to hire someone. I got to get somebody to edit the show for me. I can't do everything because I'm already doing everything. I'm going to be doing my own makeup, my own, clothing, my own getting the guests and all the different things that it takes to get the show off. I'm like, I got to just at least outsource that. I need some help. My husband's like, you can do it all, but I'm like, oh my God, like I need some help, husband. I hear you. I appreciate that you think I'm Superwoman, but I gotta get some help. And I'm so glad I did, y'all. So glad I did, man. But anyway, so the very first member of the International Dream Team is this gentleman that I call Sammy. His first name is Usama, and he is in Pakistan. I met this gentleman on Fiverr. And, I was very transparent back in when I put up a post and said, hey, I'm looking for someone that's willing to edit a Christian talk show and everything like that. I wanted to be clear about that. I wanted, people that would be okay with that and embrace that and everything like that. So I put that out there. I had, a few conversations, but he was the person that stood out to me. I can see why now. But anyway, he was the one that stood out to me. And he's been an amazing asset to the GSL family. He's the very first member of the God, Sex, and Love International Dream Team. And then eventually, the next person, he introduced me to the next person on the team. So y'all know in 2021, your girl started to publish books. And basically, I remember that as I was going through this training and this course that's on, in this group on Facebook about, what it took to self-publish and everything like that, I realized that, wait a minute, Sammy told me that he makes books. They do that. That means I got everything I need to make a book. And so lo and behold, I hit him up and everything like that, and I started working with him, and eventually he introduced me to our Saul. And so our Saul is the second member of the International Dream Team. With both of them combined, they were editing the talk show, and they also were uh, and they also started to edit and format my books. Oh my goodness, I think the doorbell has rung. Let me see. I have someone that popped in. Let me see who comes to visit us. Oh, well. Let's say hello.
Hi, congratulations on your 1,000th
Hey
episode.
girl, how are you doing?
Amazing.
Oh,
That's
okay. I
so
can't
great.
I can't hear you right now, but I'm a
Mm.
yeah, I can't hear you at the moment. But yeah, man. Whew, I'm just trying to tell the people what had happened. Let me see. Hopefully I'll hear you soon. Okay. Well, while she gets that together, y'all, okay, I'm glad that people are popping in because I wanted to, I just wanted people to celebrate with me and everything like that. And so I'm glad that she took out the time to do so.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Let me see if it's on my end here. Let me see. Can I cut up? Oh, it might be. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you
And
now. Yes.
wonderful. Well, I just wanted to pop in and say hello and congratulations on your 1,000th episode. That's huge. And it just goes to
Yes.
show just
Oh,
how much um you put your passion into this project and how you were steadfast on what direction God was taking it in. And I'm just so happy for you. And of course, I couldn't let the episode in without coming in and celebrating this moment with you. I'm so happy for you and proud of you, sister. You out here
thank
killing it.
you.
So
I'm trying. Thank you so much, not only for coming tonight, but also for being a repeat guest. You've been a part of the panel. We had an episode that was dedicated just to you as well. I don't know if it's the longest episode that we've had on GSL, but it's
maybe
one of
because
the
you already
longest.
know, I be talking. So
But it's all good. It's all good. So I wonder, as a guest, right? So from a guest perspective, and you came and you shared your testimony and everything like that. I was telling everybody in the beginning, like it was hard for me to find this type of content. Like I couldn't relate to the content that I was finding back when I was in my cultivation period, right? And so, like,
mhm.
how did you feel being able to come on and share your testimony and everything like that on the GSL platform?
um it was challenging. I'm not gonna lie, because we're in such a society of the land of make believe is what I'll call it. Because social media has basically taught us to be fraudulent and only highlight the best parts, or create um a scenario of a lifestyle that doesn't even really exist, just to get likes and seem like everything is peaches and cream. So it took
Mhm.
a big portion of vulnerability to
Mhm.
actually get on and tell the truth and say, hey,
Mhm.
this is what I'm dealing with, and this is what I'm going through, because this is real life. It's so many other people.
Oh no. Man, that's one thing about technology, man. Sometimes it won't let you. Okay.
I ain't trying to let you be great, honey. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's one thing that separates you from the other channels, because if people are really looking for a situation where they can relate to somebody, to their real life, if they're really actually trying to change and live for the Lord, and make great strides in their life, they need to be able to see somebody who is doing that and is not afraid to share that testimony or share what they have been through, or what the journey is for them. They have to let everybody else see that. So it took a big chunk of bravery and vulnerability to put that out there, because yourself to other people's critiques on your life.
Yeah, but like I said, I commend you and every other person that has come and been transparent and open and honest about the journey and everything like that, because I feel like that is so important for people to see the ups and downs of Christianity. It's not just all. I think again, one of the false narratives is you come to Christ and everything is great, and it is in a lot of ways, right? But that doesn't mean you're still not going to go through some hardships, some trials, some tests, and all these different things. And so I think being able to show that side as well is just real. It's something, it's honest. It's like, and it can help and prepare the next person so then they won't be feeling like, oh, well, this didn't work for me, then I'm going to just give up or whatever. No, hold on to the faith, keep strong. I mean, we got to put those things into practice and motion, and not just say something and then not hold fast and everything like that. But I appreciate you.
That's true, because if you take the time to actually study, everybody in the Bible was going through a struggle when I chose them. Everybody was going through something, talks about, the sadness that Adam and Eve were on the Garden of Eden. So everybody had a challenge that they were of God's goodness if everything is always perfect, so I think that was just the point of God allowing us to go through different things so that he can show up as great for us, because it's his glory that is the ultimate part of every bit of this journey anyway. So
I agree, sis. I agree. Look, I don't know if this is about to be a whole nother episode here. I don't know if you just had a little time to pop in or whatever the case is, but regardless, I thank you for, taking out the time tonight and, thinking about your girls and everything like that, and celebrating with me and stuff. And so, I mean, you're welcome to stay as long as you want, and everything like that. But yeah, I see we got a comment from Strange Tourist, and it says, "Congratulations, what a momentous occasion for such a beautiful woman." Now, I know y'all might not be familiar with that name, but I know who that is. It's one of my besties, right, during the cultivation period. Actually, the inspiration behind the book, The Cultivation Period, she's the one that got me writing it, because we were supposed to be writing it together. Called you out, sis.
Well, maybe there'll be a part two.
In case you're watching all of this.
Maybe there'll be a part two.
Maybe, or I ended up actually, and it's so funny, sis, because I already told you. I wrote a script.
Yep.
I wrote a script based on that content. Look, she laughing. This is what she wants to say. I deserve it. All love. Thank you for the inspiration and the encouragement and everything like that. She like my pen pal, because she be traveling the world and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's amazing how you can make friends, and even if you get separated, you don't change. Like, I love that type of friendship and stuff, and that's how she's been. We met in Florida, and then all of a sudden, when we got good and friends, she's like, "Girl, I'm gonna move to Africa." I'm like, "What in the world? This always happens to me.
Every time sound like me now. She sound like me.
Yeah, that's why at this point I'm just like, "Well, go ahead, sis. Whatever." Now, I just say whatever.
Like, you trying to leave too.
It's always like that, man. But again, it didn't change anything. Like, we still kept in touch when she moved there. I know she's back in the States now, doing some things, with her and her husband, kind of traveling and building that wealth, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And stuff like that, But so yeah, I feel like she's my pen pal a lot, because we do a lot of texting and stuff. And I give her updates on what's all going on. And I told her about today. She happened to hit me up today, and I was like, "Girl, about to celebrate. We're celebrating." Here she is, tuning in and commenting. So again, thank both of you ladies, man. It's like, look, past besties, new besties, man. And look coming in, man. It's awesome. I was in the middle of telling everybody about the dream team. So Arsal is the second member of the dream team, and him and Sammy were edited the show, and they was the ones helping me edit and format the books. Y'all know the first book that came out that I published, right? Who can tell me?
Gosh, not it, was it the Wine Journal? No, it wasn't the Ron journal. It was the study the juice.
The Jew, that is, yes, yeah, and that was so crazy too.
Sorry,
I was like, Lord,
I had to go down the list, child. You know, wrote so many books.
girl, listen, look, to God be the glory, man. To God be the glory. Like, and that's the funny thing too, because I had written the cultivation period.
Is that better?
It wasn't named that.
It's the lighting.
But I wrote.
It's the lighting better. My lights and camera crew wasn't together. I had to get
oh. Well, you look great to me. Like, I'm over here in the shadows. I didn't bring my other light over here. Because I was celebrating with this light, y'all. Since y'all on here now, check it out. I was partying earlier.
Okay. Wait. Let me see if I can get some disco. Hey,
there it is. Hey. It's a celebration. Look, here go. You know what, sis? Here she go. Wait a minute. You moved back to Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely missed our time together in our Waffle House trips. I know it. And she was the one that I had to give a shout out in my book and say thank you and your husband for not ever making me feel like a third wheel. Like, shout out to him too. You know, he don't like to talk to me no more, but see, that's why I said you probably can't be on here, sis, because we're gonna just be going on like this. But but no, I moved to Georgia after you left me. Before I left Florida now. Come on now.
Okay.
Anyway, girl. But yeah, brought also on the team. Yeah, published the juice. Like I said, that was crazy too, because I felt like the Lord was like, out of all the things, I could have published the cultivation period first, but because I had it already, it was already done. But the fact that the Bible study journal was the first thing I ever published was just another thing that to me. I'm like, I see what you did there. Okay, all right.
All comes back full circle.
Right. And so yeah, and then since then they obviously have been publishing. He said, come on now, I thought we were cool. Listen, y'all missed it. I was just listening to the songs in the background. We are cool. I just miss you, brother. And you ain't even met my husband yet. You was there before he came into the picture back when I was like, where my husband at? And I could have swore that y'all would at least meet or something. That's all I'm saying. We ain't did no double dating.
Look, well, thanks. I will tell her thanks for the way that she and her husband interacted with you during your cultivation period. That way you and Dario can be that light for me.
Oh, we tried. I mean, hopefully you feel you feel welcome and whatnot. Yeah. I guess it did. Paying it forward. Look at what the Lord. You know what, sis? Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, the full circle stuff, man. That's crazy. Okay. Don't you be making me get something other on here and that's something. Now
listen. You already know I'm in the middle of too much stuff. So, I'm gonna seem like the enlightened one right now.
Oh, okay. Well, say that, sister. Look, don't make me spill the tea on what we got coming.
Oh no, they're ready.
Oh, did they come to defend themselves? Oh no, let's see. Y'all, this is my homegirl MD. Together with Dr. Miracle. I don't know if she's gonna show her face tonight, but maybe we can at least hear her voice. Hello.
Yeah, no, yeah. My face is made for radio today. So we just gonna do the voice. You can put up a picture like, hey, how y'all doing? I don't know how to say your name. Is it Sky? Sakai?
Sky, but you can call me something.
Sky. Oh, look at that. Bless it. And it's so easy, and I messed that up. How you doing, Miss Sky? Miss Miracle. Congratulations, Chica. Hey, I'm so happy. Look, we ain't come to defend ourselves. I mean, everything you just said was right. My husband, he's just being my husband, bless his heart. So,
but he said him. I appreciate both of y'all, man. Yeah, like y'all helped me through. Y'all tell them about me in the cultivation period. Tell them about me back then.
So miracle back then. Miracle back then is miracle now. Just miracle now is 2.0. But she has been
Oh,
the same sweet person that she was. She was always there for me and my husband. I mean, I remember times that me and my husband was in her apartment arguing, and Miracle's just sitting there at the computer, and then she'd turn around and be like, well, maybe you guys could find a compromise. Like, maybe MD, you could do such and such, and Kareem, maybe you could do this. And then she just turned back around and let us keep fighting and arguing. Never once judged us, never made us feel bad about it, or made us look or looked at us any differently or whatever. Just let us be human and let us grow up. Me and my husband, got together quite young. I think I was like 20 and he was like 23, 24, something like that.
Oh
I call
yeah.
that quite young. Still trying to,
Yeah, yes.
figure out who you are in this world. And so, now we're 15 years in, so it's a
Well,
blessing. And
congratulations. That's a huge
yeah, thank
accomplishment.
you. Thank you so much. And so it's Miracle was a big part of that. So her cultivation period and my cultivation period and being married, I guess it's not a cultivation per se. I was already married, but like I said, it still had a whole lot of growing up to do. And so with Miracle, she was trying to find herself as well. And then at the same time, these rando guys, like, me and my husband, not trying to be judgmental, she's trying to return the favor. But like we would get home, she's
right.
like, where the freak did she find these men?
Wait
These men, where did
hold
you pick them up at? And I'm
Look, you
like
know
one
what?
guy,
Miracle.
I'm
Now
not
don't
saying no
play because
names, but
that's the
I'm
same
just
way you
saying,
look at me when I be like
okay,
cussing these dudes out.
Well, I'm just gonna celebrate then.
It's
okay.
like, where did you find these garbagios? Like,
Look. Okay, so Miss Sky, my brother, bless his heart. One guy I brought home for like Christmas from college. He was like after we went back and I came back home later on, he was like, man, I thought you was dating that guy for a tax write off. I was like,
What?
bro. I was like, why you didn't say something? He was like, well, I thought you knew what you was doing, but apparently not. I was like,
okay.
dang,
It's
wait a
like, is
minute.
this Goodwill or not? Oh
So, but he
Lord.
was right. So that guy that ended up being a wash, obviously. And then I would say 5 months later, I think 6 months later, I met my husband. So
That's a
um
blessing.
yeah. So then I asked my brother, I was like, well, what about this one? He's like, I mean, I guess he cool. I was like,
Right? Like, I don't even know yet. We gotta let
better
this
than the
play
tax
itself
write off,
out.
So I took it,
Oh,
So that's how I was feeling with Miracle with one of them guys. I ain't gonna say no name. I don't even think I remember his name. I just remember his song because me and my husband randomly say it every now and then.
oh
Talking about being,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
but
Yeah, I had some one. I had some ones. Yeah, you're right.
oh
You're
yeah,
right.
she got the
So what
boogaloo.
about
Look, you
what
gotta
about
weed. You gotta weed through what they say. You gotta weed through the Build-A-Bears.
The Build-A-Bears, I call them boogaloos, but Build-A-Bear sounds
The
nicer.
same,
So
yeah, them ones. The ones you
um
gotta build up and you gotta help along. You get them
um
to their next. You build them up for the next lady just a little bit, however long you invest in them.
okay.
You
Yeah,
know.
no,
Mm,
I wasn't interested in that. I never went to Build-A-Bear. I never made one. I don't want to do it in real life. So
Well, I was married to. Never mind. Let me stop.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
you
Listen,
only
look,
you
okay. So next time you in town, we gotta call up Summer as well, so we can all do something.
okay. I'm like, you over here on Beyonce's internet. You can't be throwing that man out there like that.
I know, right? I was like, let me just hold that, shut it down, real quick, real quick. I don't want
Oh,
nobody. I don't want the young gentleman coming from my jugular.
No, I mean, and to be fair and honest, like and this was something I was thinking about. I'm a truck driver, so and I drive at night, so I have a lot of time to think,
Yeah.
on the open roads, and so and I guess I was thinking and I was looking at, I always listen to some things while I'm driving, trying to stay woke or whatever, and I just was listening to some. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm just like I don't, and I'm probably the unpopular opinion, but I feel like with the way that I guess feminism and the role of a wife and all these things are going, it's almost taking feminism out of it. I know everybody views feminism differently, but sometimes we as women, we think, we're complete and we're done and we're whole and we need a man to come match us. But there's a lot of growing and a lot of we need to mature a lot more as well. We think we're done,
mm,
but we're not.
mm,
And a lot of it, sometimes the maturing is just within ourselves, getting rid of the past doubts. And even still now, I'm 36 years old and there's still a lot of things that I have to deal with that still affects my husband. and
Mm,
just with my own self-esteem and how I view myself and things that I want to get rid of, things that I didn't even realize that I was doing um,
mm,
to him or to our marriage. And so, and this is at 36 years, 15 years later, and so
mm,
there's a lot of things that women need to work on as well. But now in this society or at this day and age, there's been a lot of, when women stand in your power and independence and empowerment and all this other stuff, which is great. But if you're trying to have a family role, or if you're trying to have I would say a complete family, there might be a different way to look at that. And it just seems like it's
mm.
missing. I don't want to say missing from today's society, but I think the
It
view is
kind of
being.
is though.
Is it
It kind of
missing?
is. I
Okay.
mean, that's my personal opinion. Being out here in this dating world for a long time,
Okay.
um,
Bless your.
because and the reason why I'm going to say that is because everybody's trying to prove a point to the other instead of realizing that we're supposed to be put here to complement each other. You know,
Mm,
like growth is not a completed process unless you're no
mm,
longer on the earth. So we're
okay.
always going to be growing through something, and you're supposed to be able to complement that and help me to my next level and vice versa. But I think
Mm,
everybody's so busy trying to prove that they ain't gonna get played or that they,
Mm,
bigger than the next person, that's like that divine feminism that you're supposed to have, that
mm-hmm.
to be able to depend on one another is just absent. It's so much trying to one up each other that
Mm,
it's like we're us against the problem, not fighting each other and seeing who can
okay.
be the dominant one.
So it's an
Now, do
ego.
you all think that there's a push? Because in my opinion, I feel like there's a push for men to just like to diminish the man. And I'm like,
Mm,
Oh
why do we
yeah.
have to do that? Like, let the man be the man and the women be the
yeah.
women, and you know
But
what
the
I mean?
man
And
got
be
to know how to
complement.
be a man. See, we gotta consider that too. Where are they getting their advice on how to be a
Yeah.
man from?
But with that, Miss Sky, I think we also. I think there's two things with that. I think the men have to learn. It's a lot of them who don't have a great example
And
of
women
how to
either.
be a man. And then on the same time, it's like I said, me and my husband pretty much grew up together. Like, he's about 3 or 4 years older than me, but he's still young. He was still a young guy, and so was I. I had to learn how to be a woman. He had to learn how to be a man. I had to learn how to be a wife. He had to learn how to be a husband. Example that neither one of us had. Now my parents are still together, but as far as the marriage that me and my husband wanted to have, we there was no examples for it. It's just
Yeah.
what it
Mm,
was. So so you have to have a look. But I knew he was a good guy. I knew he was a good
mm.
guy because even then, like, at this point, like I said, I graduated college. I moved to Orlando. I'm part of the Disney College program. Shout out to Nice Height. Um, we're all shorties over here. And so,
Yeah.
and now when I moved to Florida, that's when I became MD. My name is Michelle Danae, but I was like, I'm gonna be MD. I'm gonna be the person, who I want to be, who I see in my head, who says who tries to be more confident, who says what I'm thinking. Of course, not to hurt people, but just don't hold back. I'm gonna be this person. And
Mm,
so that's where I was in my life. And then I met him. And I was like, well, do I want to give up on this passage that I'm embarking on, or this pathway I'm embarking on, or do I want to try to build a life with this guy? And I had to seriously sit down and think about it. And I was like, if I lose this guy, this is something I'm going to regret for the rest of my life. Now, whether me and him make it or not, if I don't try with this man, this will be something I'm going to regret for the rest of my life. So I was like,
mm,
but I mean, so I made the right choice, but in that, I'm still just now learning who I am, and that's who he
mm.
decided to marry. And at the same time, he's now a man who has to learn, like, okay, I got to leave this house. I have this strong woman, or strong spirited woman, because I turned out to be just like my dad. I thought I was like my mom, but I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
like my dad, and I married a man who's like my mom.
Okay.
Mm.
Not a bad
I
thing.
said I married a man like my mama.
Exactly.
He is
Exactly.
calm though.
No problem now. If I was a man, I married a woman, it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm a woman who married a man, so I got to tone it down. I don't know how to do that, you know.
Now
And
I
so,
might relate to you a little bit too well on that one. I'm real slick.
girl,
It's really not like when I was married, I got married at 19. So I
mm,
had 3 children and a husband before I was 21 years old.
bless it.
So I didn't get to experience who Summer was
Mm-hmm.
for myself. And so now that my kids are adults, like I'm 42 now,
Don't
I'm
look at
just
it.
now
good.
getting the
Okay.
opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to even think about myself as an individual
Mm-hmm. As
and
a woman.
finding what, like, so I like, it's kind of backwards, like when I was
Mm-hmm.
married, I was heavily in the church, and so of course I'm taking all this advice as a young teenager and trying to be a good wife or whatever I thought
Mm-hmm.
that looked like. My
Mm-hmm.
parents were divorced, so I didn't see any example of a marriage at all.
Mm-hmm.
um so it was just trying to figure that out.
Oh
See, that's what was happening to me
no.
earlier. That's why I switched to
That's me.
YouTube. There it
Oh,
is.
Sorry, my mom was
huh.
calling through, like, of all the times, Bonita. Anyway, but yeah, I had so much of that I was trying to work out, trying to be a good Christian, trying to do what the pastor was telling me to do, trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what a wife looked like, and then I got these three small kids that I'm just trying to keep alive. It's like there wasn't really much time to see
Mm-hmm.
what was in me to learn how to do. And then all of my relationships after I got divorced were just me, um I don't know, just figuring out. I would just say I've never had anybody I was scared to lose like that, like where I was like, uh I'm really so deep in love. Like, it was what they offered me, what they provided for me. Like, a lot of times, whatever
Mm-hmm.
I was dealing with at that time, if he helped me get away from what my world was at that moment, that's what I
Mm-hmm.
loved about him. You know,
Okay.
the experiences and the things that I got from him, but never like him as the person and how he treated me. Cause I don't feel like I ever had anybody that I felt like I connected with like that, who I could genuinely be myself. I always had to
Okay.
tone it down and pretend like I wasn't like this, you
Mm.
know, to keep him around to get what I wanted from the situation. So like
Okay.
that's why when Miracle was saying the cultivation period for that, she was like, do we want to talk about mine? Like, that's where I'm at right now, just trying to figure out, hey, where am I at? Like, what does life look like for me, whether there's a man in my life or not? Like, what does that look like? And what am I willing to put down or put away for that man when he does enter into my life? Like, would I be willing to change about myself,
Mm-hmm.
to make a good, strong, healthy relationship work? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's
You
anything yet.
know, I think it's I think it's a different, maybe a different way to look at it. Kind of goes along with the idea of and I don't have children. Let me start by saying that. Okay. So let me preface. But just like how you have children, maybe who have to go into a classroom or even deal with their siblings or their cousins, um, you have to learn how to share. You have to learn how to get along well with others, recognize their weaknesses and their strengths, and you have to learn how to play well. And so I think when we get older, we think in our minds, well, I should be who I am and you should take me for who I am. And I just, in every aspect of our life, and maybe it's being tired, like if you go to work, you have to be a part of who you are, because you have to deal with coworkers and a boss. And then when you come home, you don't want to be a part of who you are. You want to be all of who you are. But
Right.
but I think it's still the same long lines. You're trying to share your life with someone else, and that means that all of you just won't be there because it just, in my head, it just doesn't make sense for all of you. You can't be 100% and them be 100%, and y'all are not the same person. Even twins don't operate that way. Identical twins don't operate that way. So I think it's unfair for us to try to think that I can be 100% myself and this person should take me as I am, as they're also 100% themselves, and there'll be no conflict. Now,
Mm,
what you're willing to put down and pick up, that to me makes the difference. Like if so, like with my husband, 15 years in, I still wear a head wrap. I still love loud colors and stuff like that. And I like to be, he says I like attention. And I'm like, maybe, but I don't draw it. Like, I'm not going to be the person in the middle of the room like, hey, look at me, y'all. But I'm indirectly saying it because I love loud colors. But I like loud colors because they look darn good on my skin. Like, I'm going to have a beautiful brown color. I'm the same color as Miracle. My
yeah.
daddy loves loud colors. He can pass that on down. Like, we look great in lime green. You know what I mean? So, if I find a lime green dress that looks good on me, and I find a lime green head wrap that matches, I'm gonna wear that mug, because it looks good. But for my husband, he's the guy that's trying to be like an all black with, a hood on and some sunglasses in the corner trying to hide. I'm like, bro, you're like the only black guy in this whole white room. Like somebody's gonna see you. Like you can't hide it, But for him in his head, it's like, well, but maybe nobody won't see me. I'm like, bro, we see you. Like, stop. So that's just our different things. But so like,
see him be that way. Like I don't know. I'm just.
girl, he's
I
getting
don't
older.
know. I don't remember him being like that. Like
He
I
wasn't.
remember him.
He's turning into my grandfather, and I don't understand that. I was like, I'd marry my grandfather too. I could marry my mom.
Oh Lord.
But
So so
look,
MD, I'm
my grand.
curious,
Uh
like
huh.
when you're saying you're you're bright, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's still you being true to yourself. So how do you, or and him being true to himself, saying like, look, I'm a backgrounder,
Yeah.
but how I mean, I would say that if you're showing up to the same event as yourselves, how are how are you navigating that to your
So
point of what you have to like put away?
this took a couple years because
Okay.
it's just like Miracle's saying, when I met him to who he is now, and he has that right to grow. Like one of my favorite artists, she has a line in her song that says, "I didn't change, I became," and I was
Mm,
like, "Oh, that's
I
beautiful."
like that.
Yeah. So, so he has the right to grow and evolve and to change what he used to like and didn't like or whatever, just as much as I do. And for a while, it did not register in my head that that's what he was doing. I'm like, but you used to like this, and this didn't used to bother you, and such and that. And he was like, okay, that was like 3 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around how, like, what happened to the guy I met, but what happened to the woman he met.
True.
And so for me, we've kind of resolved like when I go home, I'm from Houston, so when I go Astros. So when I go home to Houston, I'm, I guess, for the most part 100% me, which I'm not, because I'm around my family. I'm with my mom and my dad and my brothers and all of that. So I'm still not 100% me, but I'm more me than I am, I guess, with my husband. So
Mm-hmm.
if me and him are showing up somewhere together, okay, well, maybe I put on navy blue. Navy blue still looks good on me. Red still looks great on me too. It's not as loud as lime green or neon pink, but it looks great on me. So I've learned to compromise, and so that he can be happy. I'm still happy. It's not something major where it's like, if I don't wear this lime green dress, I'm just gonna die. Like, it's not
Right.
that big of a deal overall. Like, me having a man by my side, by his side, however you want to put it. Like, if I can't even express to you how great this man is. He's magnificent.
Oh,
And how much he cares for my family, it's ridiculous. Sometimes he does things for my family that I don't even think to do. He was like, you should do this, it's important. And
yeah.
so nothing can replace that. So it's like, would I rather give that up for a lime green dress? It's not that
Right.
serious.
I think it's
So,
important to note though that you found somebody who complimented you in that way,
yeah.
who gave you something that you could choose over a lime green dress. Like I don't think that anything that I've been presented, and not to put any of my exes or examples what not to do again. I'm not trying to put y'all down or nothing. But
Yeah.
I just feel like that the connection between two people has to be stronger than those other things. And then you're more willing to compromise. I just don't think I've
Yeah.
ever personally had that.
I'm gonna say that was all him, because there was a couple of, I guess, fights or arguments early in our relationship, and I was like, "Well, should we break up?" And he's like, "No, why would you break up for that?" And I was like, "We shouldn't." He's like, "No, that's not a reason to break up," and I never figured out what a reason was to break up. So, this is me trying to sabotage stuff, because I'm just thinking I'm not worthy of a man this great.
Yeah.
And but so we never did the make up to break up. We've never broken up, not one time. So
Oh,
and but like I said, that's all him. And for me and him, it was like we met in, I think, May, and then July we were together, and that was it. So he's the only guy I've known
that's beautiful. That's
from
beautiful
that.
though.
And so, but our relationship was all talking. Like, we would meet in Sam's parking lots and Walmart parking lots and at Denny's, and all we did was talk all night. And we put our uniforms in the car so we can get dressed and go to work the next morning. And then that night we meet again and talk all night. We did that for like 2.5 months. So then that's my question to y'all, since it's God, sex, and love. How
Mhm.
important is either having sex or withdrawing from sex early on in a relationship? Because some people say you should wait 3 months. Some people say you should wait till you get married. With y'all being Christian women, what y'all think?
So you trying to the question what I did or what I think should happen?
I want to know what you did. That's why I'm side-eyed. I'm side-eyed. Did you taste the product before you purchased it?
Well, listen, I've been open and honest here on GSL, that I'm not perfect. And obviously, basically between the conservation period and when I moved back home, by the time like I was in a whole nother place mentally and whatnot. And so I was in a place where, no offense to my ex, whatever, but I was in a place where I was feeling fulfilled in the previous relationship. So I think by the time I did meet my now husband, and we did move around and whatnot, I wasn't expecting much until I felt much, and I was like, oh, this still works. Okay, interesting. So that's how that was. But then eventually, my convictions and stuff, because again, I could never be, okay with just doing things like that or whatever. Eventually, I was talking about X, Y, and Z, and then we had our two breaks and tried and all of that, and all of that. So technically, maybe I'm not the best example when it comes to all of that.
I mean, you can't say that because you have a happy, successful marriage. So I don't think that there is a certain one way to do it. It has to be what works for the both people. But me personally, in my single journey, I'm looking at sex as something that I don't wish to participate in until at least there's a commitment there. Because that's what will make me feel not regretful about giving that part of myself to the other person.
Marriage was always the goal for me. It was the goal. I tried my best.
I mean, but he was always your husband, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's still kind of, that white space. That gray area.
So why am I gonna bring that up? I want to tell my little husband's story. Oh. And then she gonna get to the other stuff. I said, okay, well,
I'm sorry.
Was you hunching or was you hunching?
Wow. I was just gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say this part, and then we can get back to that part. Basically, what I was gonna say was that basically, the thing about me and Dario, I think both of y'all have seen us interacting and all this type of stuff. But we're different, you know what I mean? Maybe it's the bright colors versus the dull colors. But the thing I love about him is that he allows me to be, right? He supports me in all my endeavors and things like that. He doesn't take away from me in any aspect in regards to any of that. So there's all kinds of men out here. And the thing that I'm learning is I have to be specific about him and his desires and his wants and all. I be asking him all this stuff all the time, because it's like I can have a general idea of what I think men want and what I did. I was like, I think men want this and X, Y, and Z, and then I got with this man and see that he doesn't really care about majority of that. And so I'm like, well, what is it that you want from me? And sometimes it just seems like he just wants to be around. That's it. I'm like, is there anything else? Because I have plenty of so you don't want to get too, but anyway,
oh gosh. Same.
Both of y'all come on here on tonight. See y'all.
That's funny. But you told me to come on, so
hop on.
I'm glad you did, because I would have just been sitting here talking to myself. I would have talked to the people and shared all the journey about GSL. But I think they know that and everything. So I mean, but we can continue with what y'all want to discuss.
Well, no, I mean, I wonder, because I read something, I can't even remember where it was, but the lady was saying that people should wait 3 months to have sex to see if there's a genuine connection and not just a physical or physical attractiveness or something like that. And I'm like, I can see the benefits of it. I don't know how it works for everyone, but I'm also, in full disclosure, I'm not I want to say a sex person. Like I don't have a high drive. I put it that way. Bless my husband's heart. I'm blessing everybody's heart tonight. So, and
My heart.
I know, but I, and I've been that way since I was younger. So it's not oh, you got married, the old thing, you get married, you don't have sex on, which could be true. I guess maybe that's just what it is. But I've heard these Puerto Rican women tell me that when I hit 40, it'll change. So I'm waiting.
Yes,
Um,
Lord. Hallelujah. Praise God.
okay, so I got like 4 years, so I'm
He'll,
like waiting to see.
he'll make a change. He will do it. He'll make that change.
Can he make it now? Can I get it? Early,
I
early
mean,
with.
they might get you right before 40,
No, and that's a whole different discussion. Like that's part of self care. Need to go to the doctor, see if it's something more going on. There's herbs and stuff like that. So there's, like I said, there's things that I can. What I was saying earlier about women, there are things that we can do more of, and be more active about, and still grow. Like how you made the point that we're always growing, but in our head we think that we're done, or we're done enough. And so when we get these men, they're like, "Oh, you ain't no real man. I need somebody such and such." But it's just like you did the growing too. And sometimes women grow faster, like as they always say. But then you also had the kids. You had, like I said, 3 kids by you were 21. You did a whole lot more growing than somebody to
yeah, I
say
had
like,
a lot going on. I
yeah.
have.
But my grandmother also had three
But
kids.
I don't even think I was grown up. I just had a
No,
lot of responsibility. And
no,
that's the difference.
you weren't grown up, but you, like you said, you had more things on your brain. Your brain operated differently because you had lives that you were entrusted with. So let's just say you had met a man that was in the military that was just maybe a few years older than you. He would be different than a guy who maybe just graduated high school.
Right.
It's different. It's just different life experiences are going to put you in a different place. And so even with me and my husband, we were kind of in the same life experiences. He was older, but I mean, what I did with my life, I graduated college. I graduated early. So I graduated college, and I had always wanted to get to Florida. Couldn't figure out how. Here comes along the Disney college program. Got into that, and I moved to Florida. So that's all I did. I hadn't had much life experience. That was it. I had one other boyfriend, my high school sweetheart. That was it. And then I had my husband. So
Which I
I,
always wanted that story because I always thought that was such a sweet story. Like to meet a guy like early on, and then you have this long, loving marriage that you don't have to weed through the bull crap. You
mm,
know,
Which is she over there
for a
talking
long.
about, I can't.
look,
I mean, not to put anybody down. This is not saying that these guys are such awful people. I think
mm-hmm,
they're all like great guys for another person, just
mm-hmm,
not for me. Because I'm even saying this like transparently that
mm-hmm,
I went into, like, when I got married, it wasn't for love. I had sex and got pregnant, and in my mind, I did not want to have a child out of wedlock
mm-hmm,
because that was my second baby. So I
mm-hmm,
was like, I can't be a teen mom twice. That was something totally different than falling in love and getting married for love. So I had my last 2 kids within that marriage, and then I got my tube side and divorced him at 24. So I just had a lot of things that wasn't happening in the average person my age's life.
exactly.
So then if you're a 24-year-old divorcee with 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
who you really meeting? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Yeah.
not like you, like it
Mm-hmm.
damages you to society's view of
Yeah.
your value at that point. My tubes were tied at 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I could offer a new start to a young man and
Exactly.
have more kids. That I had put all my eggs in that marital basket, and it
Yeah.
didn't work out. So all the people that I dated after that, you got to kind of keep away from your kids and make sure it's a whole different dating game
Mm-hmm.
at that point. So I don't think, like, after I got divorced, I was single for like 10 years
Mm-hmm.
before I really even started trying to like really get out there and take men seriously again, and try to even go there. So it was a lot that I was doing. And then when and I hadn't dealt with childhood trauma or any of those things to grow me as an individual. I was just trying to survive being a single mom for all that time. and having a failed marriage and having men want to use me for sexual reasons, but not come in and help me with this family that I had, and all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff that I had going on. So that's a whole lot to unpack for a person. And when you're just trying to hold it together for your kids and finish that part of your story, you don't really have a whole lot of time to just say, okay, what is it that I need for me? Because there was no room for me a lot of that time, you know.
And I can't even imagine. Like I said, my grandmother, she was 3 kids before 21. She met my grandfather. He was a military man. Now, granted, my grandparents were born in 1930.
Yeah.
So, different time, different mindset. And, my grandfather, bless him, he took them 3 kids. They got his name, and then she had 4 more. And so, it's just a different time, different place. I couldn't imagine dating right now, let alone, when you were younger and you had those kids. I can't imagine any of that. Like that's where the miracle that's where miracle came in, because she was the single one, and I was just like, and for a while it was a like, sometimes I wish I had Miracle's life where I was single, where I could be myself, I could learn who I was, and date around. Like I said, still wasn't into sex or anything like that. I just wanted to date. I wasn't trying to have sex with every single person I met, but just go on a date with this guy, see what that was like. Okay, I don't like that. What is this? And such. I didn't get the chance to do that because I met my husband as soon as I moved to freaking Florida. So, you know,
but then I was on the other end, like, girl, you married, you got somebody at
yeah, no,
home, I'm going by myself.
yeah, exactly. So we were looking.
It was the thing.
Grass is not greener, huh? Um, so.
So
I know, right? Which is where it's where from, and she's right. I did drop the ball. I was
look,
supposed to get
this
married.
might this might be my co-star, MD. This is what I'm thinking. She read the script. MD read the script. What you think? You can see it.
I can see it.
Here, see the character.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see it.
So just go ahead. Now you just smiling and blinking, huh?
But I mean,
Yes,
as
you
far
might
as,
be
so,
co-star of the film soon.
like you said, what you had to go through to even think about trying to let somebody else in your life is more than a notion. And then that just goes along with, this is not how our society was supposed to be. It's supposed to be, community. And we could talk about shoulda, woulda, couldas and how things are supposed to be. It's just, but you have to deal in reality and what is. And so, I mean, as far as for you now, I don't know. I keep reading about people peeing in the dating pool and stuff like that, and I'm scared for y'all. Like,
Oh, it's a lot of fecal matter in the pool.
it ain't even just pee, huh?
It's waste.
It's like,
I'm
I was
I'm just gonna
literally just
say, well,
watched this shit on
I'm
YouTube, and
gonna
the girl
say
said,
that my mindset
"Uh
with what I want from a person, it's just like so much other, what do you call it? I don't know, blow with the wind. Like, first of all, marriage has to be taken seriously, which I feel like a lot of people don't really do as much anymore.
yeah,
So that's one thing. Their staying power, their ability to stay when the road gets rough, they ain't got a whole lot of that,
girl, see, my mind went all
um
the way left. I went, okay,
yeah, like they ain't got a whole lot of that. They ready to drop
You
it
know
back.
what
Oh,
it is.
you
no,
you don't hurt my feelings, and then they ready
okay,
to throw it in the towel. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I ain't changed diapers in a long time. I don't know how to help you. So it's like I'm looking for something specific in terms of how he's going to be able to handle himself, because once I lose respect for you, my dude, we
that's
done.
good.
Because I can't regain that respect for you. I'm gonna treat you like I have a son. I'm gonna treat you like a son. And
Mm.
once I don't want to screw my son. So, like, sir, you're done. You're
Yep.
done. Okay.
No,
Get
I
your coat,
feel
get your purse in your coat and leave. um
don't do that. Don't get them.
so, it's a lot of that. And then it's like, you know, I date people who are like, they might have money or whatever, but they feel like that's everything. That's not even in my top three. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no broke dude, but above that, I want somebody who can lift me up when I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who I know is gonna have my back through thick and thin. Like somebody who's gonna have a good moral compass, and I ain't gotta worry about what he might do to me, being mishandled and having been mishandled, in my past. I don't want to have to worry about those things. We can go out and make money is a resource. We can go out and make that.
Yep.
But if I can't trust you with my life, I
Mm-hmm.
can't make you no husband of mine. And then a lot of these men want to just say because they have a penis that makes them a leader. And I'm saying, well, no, not really. You have to have direction and vision, honey, and where are you getting your directions from? I'm not just jumping in the car to go to the ditch. Like, we gotta go. You gotta tell me where we headed, sir. I'm not just getting in and putting a seatbelt on and saying, wherever, babe. No, I'm not that woman. And I'm very, as you can tell, I got a lot of opinions, and I'm gonna say them. So I need to have, a
Well,
spinal
let
cord.
me
If
ask
anybody's
you
out here
this.
taking notes and it would like Summer taking notes and pray
I need
about
you
it.
with a spinal cord. If you're looking, I need your spinal cord to be in order. Okay, it needs to be in order. Not that I want to check them or nothing, but I want somebody who is intelligent enough to say, even if I'm out of line, because I'm not saying I'm not gonna ever get out of line because I'm
Yeah.
used to it. But when I'm out of line, I want somebody who knows how to gather me and sit me in
Yeah.
the proper position. You know what I'm saying? Without being disrespectful, like or
No, I
without
get you.
getting easily offended.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like,
I'm
hey, baby, you
with you.
doing too much. Pull it on back.
Yeah,
Let
and
the
that's my
Lord
husband
use
for
you.
me.
You know, you just gotta
I
say it
really wonder what
a
that would look
certain
like
way.
for Summer though. Like I don't know, Summer. Like what now? Do you know what that even would look like for you for somebody to gather you? Like has that happened?
Yes, yes, yes,
It has.
yes.
How did it work
And
out for that person? Because
well, he ain't here today to tell you the story.
Exactly.
However, the inconsistencies weren't in that area necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
okay,
Like, like for me, I'm very much so in my masculine energy because I have had to be put there from
Yeah.
having to be the role of everything for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But if you came in and took some of that burden from me, I could operate more in my feminine energy like I'm supposed to. But if
Yeah.
you come in and see that, oh, well, she got it all together, I'm just gonna let her do it then. Like if you
Yeah.
that type of dude, and then you start adding things to my plate, like, oh, well, since you done handled all of that, well, can you handle my doctor's appointments and all of this stuff too? Like, no. No, I don't want more on my plate, sir. You supposed to relieve me from some of these duties that were not supposed to be mine.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can worry about making sure you have a nice hot bath when you get home, or dinner
Mm-hmm.
made, or a nice massage, or we can sit back and I can relax with you and we can talk and you can unload the day onto me and that be a safe space. If
Well,
you come
let me
home and
let me
put me to
ask you
work.
this. Um, okay, two-part question. Where do
Okay.
you meet the guys that you meet? And have you noticed a pattern of the kind of guys that you meet? I'm sorry, three-part question. Third question. Also, because that wasn't the second question, but that came out. The third question is, do you think if you stepped into your feminine energy before meeting the guy, you would meet the guy who was already in his masculinity?
Okay, let me start there and work backwards. Okay,
Okay.
so I would normally, I'm not like rough around the edges in the beginning because I like it. So I'm gonna be nice. But then
No,
if I
no, that's
notice,
a facade though. Energy is energy, and energy does
that's
not lie.
true. But it's there because I'm still in the position of having to be everybody, if you get what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like,
I'm
so
with
the
you.
more I deal with you,
Hmm.
if you start pulling from me, then more of that me having to control the situation to prevent you from putting more on my plate makes it rise up more.
Okay.
So I think if a guy, I really can't say. That's why I'm on this quiet time with the Lord, because I have to release. Like I said, I didn't have a real time to do all of that releasing as I have now,
Yeah.
to really get some of those old things
Mm-hmm.
that I had to survive through off of my, subconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
and to let myself say, hey, you could be okay because you ain't even dealing with none of that. My kids are grown. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about that. A lot of those things that made me more masculine, I'm not in that situation anymore. So
Exactly.
I don't need that anymore. So I think it would be a little bit easier now than it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
To keep me soft. But where am I meeting them at? Um, Wherever. I mean, like, um, through friends. Oh, well, I did meet one dude online, like
Mm.
online dating.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I met him that way, and then he turned out to be married, with uh, and then lied about the number of kids he had.
Okay.
After we were like 3 months
Awesome.
into it, then I was like, "Oh, you're still
Wow.
married? Oh God." Like it was just like stuff that came out. So I was like, once I lose respect, then I'm not nice anymore. Cause then I feel like you're trying to play me.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's
You
a little
know,
different. Married and children. That should
he
come up
said he
way
said he
before.
had 4 kids, and then he gonna take it back 3 months later, 4 months later, say he have six. I said, how do you forget about two
Whoa.
kids, two
Okay.
whole humans that you made? How did you forget about them? I don't
They
understand.
just popped up. They was just born.
He said he didn't think it was important. I said,
Oh.
this is the type of foolishness. You see what I'm saying? And like, it's like, and you want me to be soft and gentle to you? Like, you lucky if I don't blow your car up, sir. Like, this is crazy. Like, you
Can't fuss
know,
about the car.
you
No, you
exactly like that type of
calmly walk
energy.
away. You dodged the bullet, so that's a blessing. Well,
Right. Like how I meet people, like the last dude I dated, I met him um at a friend's party. She had a birthday party at her house, and he was one of the guests that was there. And she was like, he's a single sweet dude, and everything I know about him is cool. I think y'all should hook up. I think y'all would be cool together. It's not like I was meeting him at the club, or whatever. I'm meeting them in, I guess, what you would call like good,
yeah.
good
Oh, I mean,
places, and then they just turn out to be like weirdos.
okay. Well, then I think the other question I had, since I didn't compounded them, was did you notice a pattern of the type of guys that you met?
Uh, yes,
Something in them
like
that might be similar, or
yeah, all of them
oh,
lied and cheated.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a consensus on the whole batch of them, from
okay.
the rooter to the tutor.
From and I asked
Well,
that
you
because
still you was out here, wish you was out here dating, sis.
no, I said that, but whew, thank goodness. Bless my heart.
I mean,
So
Bless my heart.
I was just saying, like, cause,
well,
but
I'm gonna say the one thing that, like, this one I'm gonna bring up for a reason, because maybe the other two thought that way too. Like, they wanted to like be a savior to me or something.
okay,
Um,
I can see
I'm
that.
gonna say that maybe I'm giving off that kind of energy, like I need to be saved. And at a point, I was feeling like I wanted to be saved.
Okay.
Um, not so much now, but I know at a point I was just like, I just want to do, like, you would see these women and they had these guys that's like taking care of them, doing everything for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, I don't want this man, and he's doing all this good stuff for them or whatever, not knowing that the details of what's happening inside the relationship, but from the
Mm-hmm.
outside. And I was like, that's what I want. So
Uh-oh.
like, like I would do wonders with a man who would just let me, focus on me and not have to worry about bills and stuff like that. And so the last like 3 serious relationships were men who, like took me like on vacations, and
Mm-hmm.
gave me money, and did things for me, but they were liars and cheaters. So
Well, I
and
noticed when, and I'm prefacing again. So I'm a happily married woman. Didn't act on none of this stuff, but guys who kept approaching me were the same set of guys. Like I know, like, okay, so you see how our beautiful sis Miracle is dressed. Well,
Mhm.
minus the lipstick because I don't do makeup at all. I don't even own it. I still got a thing of clear lip gloss. So that's about all I do. But so I got head wraps on. I only wear dresses. No makeup or whatever. So I don't get the guys who like let me throw money at you because they already know like I'm not their cup of tea. So those guys are already out the window. I don't get the guys that's in the streets. I don't get none of those guys. The guys who always approached me was the guys who like the Grand Rising Queen type of guys, which is not a problem. I actually, I laugh at it with my cousins, but I'm like, I get where they coming from. Good morning could have
Yeah.
school hours, but always those kind of guys, Hebrew Israelites kind of guy, which is what me and my husband were for a while. Only those guys consistently because and I guess in their head, like, well, hey, this looks like the type of woman who would subscribe to the lifestyle that I'm living. Now, those
Right.
guys could turn out to be dirtbags just as much too, because in the Hebrew Israelites, there's always a lot of sister wives talking stuff like that, which I totally get, not against that at all, but whatever. But I do feel like there's a way that should go about, and I feel like in any kind of walk of life, any kind of culture, whatever, you have, like my husband says, you have people who do things the right way and people who don't. And if you have somebody who's trying to do something the right way, it'll show. And then there'll be people behind them. The ones who don't care about doing it the right way, they don't care who they hurt, as long as their needs are met, it's always going to be a problem. So that can be true for any culture, any religion, any way of life. And so
Mhm.
now those guys, like I said, those guys who came at me, I don't know what kind of people they were or whatever, but it was always the same type of guy. And because that was the energy that I gave off, I looked like a black hippie. Well, just a hippie. you
But
know.
I'm a hippie. Look, Miracle can tell
Just
you,
like a
like,
hippie.
I'm not made up. I'm all natural. I just
Yep.
locked my hair up like maybe
Yay.
3 years ago.
She has
Um,
lost too. Yeah.
oh yay,
Yeah.
yes, my sisters.
You'll never see them.
So
Yeah.
now I'm starting to get approached by those Grand Rising Queen dudes, but not like that. But like Miracle can tell you, I'm just very free spirited. Like I just want to wear what I want to wear. Um, and sometimes that's all over the place. Like you
Mhm.
really don't know how I'm gonna show up, to be honest. Like you don't. Whatever whatever I feel comfortable. Some days I want to wear makeup, some days I don't, you
Mhm.
know. Um it's not like a specific, I think maybe I don't think I got picked because I was like one of them eyelash nails girls,
Mhm.
with the makeup and all of that. I'm not picking that type of dude. Like these dudes are nerds that I'm talking to. They still liars and cheaters. They're like complete nerds. Like one is an IT person from, I ain't gonna tell you where, but anyways, IT person. The other one's a music engineer. The other one is a chef.
Okay.
Nothing relatable about none of their um things. They nerds. They I would say cool lames. That's what I like to call them. But I like cool lames. And let me explain that for any guys who's listening. Like, what the heck is a cool lame? Okay, so
I get it.
I
because
do.
I'm spicy, what I'm saying? I got a little hood rat still in there. So, I need them to be able to relate to like things that I say, or whatever mannerisms. But I like a good nerd. I like somebody who in high school would have been labeled as a lame because he wasn't in the street. He ain't out there like that.
Yeah.
So they would call him a lame, and I like lames. You
Yeah.
just got to be cool. You got to be able to relate to, who I am with a little sprinkle of hood in there. You got to be okay.
Uh-huh.
So we ended
Understanding
up with
that,
techie guys.
huh?
Cause she said that we ended up with some techie guys because my guys all computer programming and whatnot, and MD. Well, is he still producing? He was producing music one night.
No.
Oh,
But but to be fair, like I said, he has a lot going on right now. So right now it's just
yeah,
basically
yeah.
trying to get through day by day. So his brother still makes music though. So
Okay.
yeah,
But
my
see,
husband.
it's not the average. Like it's just hard to
No.
say. I don't know. Like honestly, I will say this, and this is just being completely as honest as I possibly could. I think the one thing that um that about myself, not them, just about
Okay.
me, is that I like to drink so much. So I drank all the time. I'm just now like at a point where I'm saying, okay, I'm just gonna quit drinking, like for a while and discover something else about myself. But
Mhm.
I think that was probably the thing. Like I love to bar hop and you
Mhm.
know drink a lot. Like
Mhm.
everything had to include drinking. I don't care if it's a baby shower. I'm coming to it with some wine or I ain't coming to it. Like
Okay,
that was me.
I get you.
So I would think that's the toxic part.
Okay.
If you want to say that, that's that. Um, and then the fact that I like to go to different events and stuff because I like to explore things. And I
Yeah.
think dudes took that, like, created a misconception that made me like talk to other dudes because I do get a hit on a lot, but
Mhm.
it's not because I'm trying to go meet new dudes. It's just that once I get to drinking, I'm gonna say, hey,
Yep.
I'm Summer. What's up?
Yep.
Let's have fun, or whatever. But not in a way like take me home tonight.
Yeah.
But I think that it made them uncomfortable
Well, it's
that
not a good
I
look.
was
I mean, I feel
more
you.
of a
I'm not. I get you 1,000%. Me and my brother are talkative people. Like, one of his birthdays, I walked in to some club in downtown Houston, or some bar or whatever it was, and I was like, "Who is that? My brother talking to?" Asking his wife. She's like, "Girl, I don't know. Your brother could talk to a brick wall and have a great conversation." And I said, "Oh, well, that's me too. I mean, I feel you, sis, but I'm like." I could also have a fascinating conversation with a brick wall. Like it would be the most intriguing conversation you hear all night. I like talking to people. I love people, and I love to dance. My husband no longer. I mean, when I met him, he danced, and then maybe a couple months, I didn't even realize when he stopped dancing. I was like, wait, what year was
like,
that?
wait, hold
You
up.
stopped dancing, but he doesn't dance. And I love to dance, all kinds of dances. And then nothing disrespectful, like salsa is my favorite, but he doesn't dance. He doesn't socialize with people. So in that aspect, we're two different people. So that's something that like you said, that was something I had to check because to me in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just being social. But it made you
It made
uncomfortable,
all of them uncomfortable. Every
and it
last
wasn't.
one of them.
Yep, and same thing with my husband. I'm like, well, what's more important? Because if he was doing something that made me uncomfortable, I would want him to stop. Right? And for the most part, he would. But for me, I'm like, well, I ain't doing nothing wrong. You should be cool. Like you don't want to dance with me, I should be able to dance. And I'm, talking
Hello, I
out
gotta
of my
never
neck.
dance again. Like, I'm sorry, y'all just ain't
So,
worth it. I'm
but
sorry.
But like I said, there's a lot of growth and a lot that goes with it. So what me and my husband have figured out is that me and him together, we're beautiful. Like we truck drive together, so we're a team. But when I go back to Houston, most of the time he just stays in the truck. That's his time alone. I go with my family. That's my time alone. So I get to be me and do whatever it is that I want to do. And I'm still respectful because I'm still a married woman at the end of the day. And if I did anything that somehow my husband found out for whatever reason, and I lost my husband because of it, would it be worth it? And I haven't found out one thing, one person, any situation that would be worth me losing this man. So
Yeah.
I still respectful, but it's like, okay, well, Houston has like free salsa every Friday, in the summer. So I went salsa dancing. Kept it all the way respectful. If anything, I danced with an old man, somebody's like 70 years old and he barely moving. I'm like, come on, let's
But I
get it.
don't even be dancing with the men. I be dancing with myself, and they still got a problem because somebody looking. Like, come
Well,
on
that's
now, bro.
different.
Like, at
That's
some point, it's
that's
your
insecurities, but that's
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's you. Like, I'm not getting ready to just sit down the whole time because you don't want to
But
dance
then,
and you don't
but then
like
the
to see
answer would
me
be don't
having a
go
good
with
time
them. You go by yourself. Like it's just, so I had to learn that it's a lot of experiences that I will not experience with my husband
with
because
your
he's not
husband.
that kind of guy. So like even when we vacation now, and I was just telling my sister-in-law this, like the way we vacation is different. So most of the time when me and him take a vacation now, he said, call your mom and see if she wants to go. Because once we
Right.
get to wherever it is that we're going, he's going inside the hotel room and he does not leave it. So
Okay.
we went all the way to Alaska. He didn't leave the room. How many black people you know in Alaska? He didn't leave the room except to go to the airport. Okay, but that's
Okay.
what he does. So I was like, if I want to go see something in this Alaskan city, it's gonna have to be something that's, of course, safe because once again, we're in Alaska. But
Right.
but I'm not gonna come all the way to Alaska and not see nothing. So I went
Exactly.
to some museum or something they had there, walked around, looked nice, took pictures, and came on back. He cooked an incredible dinner. That's probably still one of the best dinners I've ever had in my life, and we had a great time. So if you're going out with guys and they don't want to see you dancing or socializing or whatever, you don't go with them. You're gonna have to go on your own. Just make sure you remember that you're in a relationship and to keep it 1,000% respectful and enjoy yourself.
But
And
they
then,
got to do something I like. I feel like I can't have somebody that's so opposite from me that they do nothing that I enjoy, because I can't do a snooze fest. I
you just
don't.
have to find what y'all like. Me and my husband, I'm not a movie
Yeah.
person,
So
but he loves movies, so I watch movies with him. But we have shows and things that we love to watch together. We have great conversations that we have together. But vacationing and going out is just something that we don't do together. It's just what it is.
right.
But I found
Yeah.
something else, So it's we will always be connected. We always have each other backs. We always have things that we have in common. But when it comes to vacations and events, he's not there, and it's
That's
just.
separate.
But that
I
took a
might have to
while.
learn
It
how
took a while.
to.
It took a
Yeah.
while. I'm just now getting it in 20. Like I told you, it's been 15 years. I'm just now getting it. Okay, so
Okay.
and I'm just now being okay with it because in your head you're taught all these things about how love should be, how marriage should be, how you and your partner should be. I don't know if we got them from Disney fairy tales. I don't know if it's what
Probably.
from books. I'm trying to figure. I was like, where did I get these false ideas of how marriage should be? Like I'm trying to figure it
Yeah.
out, and I still haven't figured it out. But I had to throw all that away, and it's like, how do I want my marriage to be? And I think what's something that me and my husband say a lot is that people don't tend, when it comes to marriage, you don't tend to think outside the box. This is how marriage has been. This is how it should be, even if it doesn't work for the two people involved in it. So I remember reading about a couple who had two different apartments. They had been married like 40 plus years. They just had two different apartments, same building, just two different apartments. And then she was like, I don't want to live with him. And I was like, I 1,000% get it. Now, me and my husband,
I
we
would.
don't mind. But if we built our house, we're going to have two master bedrooms. We're going to share a kitchen and a living room. That's it. I want my own bathroom, my own bedroom, my own
Yeah.
toothpaste. I want my own everything. And we're okay
Yeah.
with it. But it does not mean we care for each other less. Our marriage is in shambles or a problem. It's just we realize that for us to be great together, we need our space. And we tell kids that all the time. Most people buy houses saying, "Oh, I want to have four bedrooms because I want each kid to have their own room." And then when they get older, it's like you need to go live with this other person that you don't even know. That doesn't make any sense. If it
True.
works for you, it works. But if it doesn't, it's okay to have two separate things, to make it work. So you have to think outside the box.
And I don't. It's not that I want somebody to be like 100% like me, but
Mm-hmm.
there's certain things that I do want to enjoy. Like
Yeah.
with that person, and I guess I just have to find somebody. My main thing ain't even all that outside stuff. It's really the connection to me personally. I want to
Yeah.
feel that they get me, and I can be very vulnerable with them and talk about whatever. And I know that, like you were saying, that regardless if you're on vacation doing your own thing or he's at home waiting on you, he's thought of you while you were gone. You know what I'm saying? To make
Mm-hmm.
that meal for you something that was special, that he knew would be special for you when you got back
Mm-hmm.
exploring whatever you wanted to do. But that's the connection that's the major thing for me. I'm not gonna negotiate on that part. Like
Yeah.
if I can't be a friend with you, I gotta spend too many years of my life for you to not be my friend for real. So
Yeah.
I need that.
I think that comes first because that's where we were. We were friends first, and then like I said, sex wasn't a part of it because I wasn't. Besides me having a high sex drive, I wasn't just gonna be going around sleeping with random people. It just that
Right.
never appealed to me. Now, and this is not putting down for the women who go out and get it in, like get it in. It just never appealed to me personally. So all we had was conversation.
Right.
But I told him that from jump. I'm like, so if sex is that important to you, I'm not the chick for you. And I understand it sucks. I would love to see what we can become, but hey, it's I that's something I obviously can't compromise on. You can't compromise on having sex tonight. So I'm like, you got to do what you got to do. But he's like, no, let's make it work. Like, because sex, even though sex is important to him, it wasn't at the top of his list. The connection, like we were just speaking on, is more important. And so that's what we did. But That's why I asked y'all, is sex important? Could you wait 3 months, 6 months, a year before you have sex with a person just so y'all could be friends, find a real connection? Sometimes it seems like sex blurs.
It does. It definitely does. Because then every time you hook up, sex is kind of on the table. And it's like, well, dang, I just wanted to come kick it with you, enjoy your company. Why we got to have sex? But last guy, Miracle will tell you, I went off on that dude because I said it out the gate. I was like, listen, I ain't trying to screw. We ain't trying to do all that. That's gonna be on the commitment line. And until we get to that part of the story, we shouldn't even be talking about sex. Well, he kept bringing it up every conversation. We have literally, like, without me to, he was like, well, how you feel about this? But stupid stuff, kind of, like surface conversation. And then it will always end up, we keep talking about God. Well, why would God let bad stuff happen to good people? And he was 53, so I was just like, nigga, sorry, but you too old. Like, come on, fool. And then, the next thing out your mouth is, how you wanna, have sex with me. And it's like, you don't even know who God is. You got a Bible sitting on the back of your dresser that you ain't even read. And then, like, that's important to me that you even know who you are. And, why you want me to jump in the car and give my body to you, which is my life essentially, because I don't know who you done slept with, what you got going on, and the demons that could or could not be attached to you from whoever else you done got it on. And you want me to give that to you before you're even willing to have a conversation of depth with me or commitment? Boy, don't pack your duffel bag and get your silly tail on up this road. Because it's a no, ma'am.
So MD, like when you told your husband when you met him, like what your values were, what how you felt like that, like do you remember exactly his response?
It was more so like, if I can remember, it was more so like, that's cool. Not a man of many words. So he was like, that's cool, we'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
But I like that because it was
Yeah.
open to respecting your boundaries right out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was also respecting him. Like I said, I'm 20 years old. For what I know, men want sex. That's what I've been taught. So that's what I know. And so,
That is
yeah,
what we've been taught, ain't it?
yeah. So I'm like, well,
That ain't always accurate.
no, it's not. Ain't that right, sis? But but
It ain't.
that's what I've been taught.
Over here with the high drive.
God,
Cut it.
I'm sorry.
Cut it.
I wish we could
Cut it.
switch.
I guess
But,
so I can complain. Look, so I can create the slowly platform that we're celebrating. That's why.
so it was
Like, why, Lord? Why?
I wish I could have matched them. I still wish I do. And like I said, it's not a wish because I could do more. And I've been trying, like, Miracle here and my sister-in-law, they've both been helping me. So I started in August and it's supposed to end in like December. Of just me for 6 months, just trying to be a better person, a better woman, a better wife. And it's like just doing things opposite of what I've been doing. So making sure, I know I'm a de-escalator of situations. I know I can also escalate that mug. But and so I'm just trying a bunch of things differently. And so those are my accountability partners. I'm still a work in progress. But I know, like I said, there are herbs that can help with drive, and I can go to the doctor and figure out what the issue is. Because I know that look, there's 1,000 solutions. Have I tried one? No, because I'm lazy and it's as important to me. I'm being honest. So America's been very honest on this platform. I don't always catch the show, but especially if I'm driving and I'm like, oh, it's 4 o'clock, let me catch Miracle. She'll know I'll pop in. I always write out something. But so to be honest, I have not tried any of to solve it because it's not that important to me. If somebody said, hey, if you put your sex drive up, we'll give you $1 million. You think I would have that sex drive up by tonight, by midnight? It would be up. Okay.
MD.
So, but it's not so important that I would say I need to do the things that I need to do. I'm gonna get to them. As far as him, like I said, we had a connection prior to any conversation. I think it was just us talking. He told his friend, I think, like I met him, and then the next night we went out again, and he told his friend, he was like, "Don't marry her." And he was like, "Dude, you drunk?" He was like, "No, I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to marry the girl." She's And that was just from us talking all that night. And he had no money, like he was in the red because he was gonna go get something to eat. He had to buy some French fries and chicken shit. But it was a good conversation, and so here we are.
The thing I love about both of you ladies that are on the phone or we're on this live,
Yeah,
on this live, feel like we phone right now. The thing I love about both of y'all is that both of you all have acknowledged different things that you see within yourself that you wanted to change and that you are striving to do that and grow and learn and be better for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think one of the things and that's what I was going through the cultivation period as well. I was looking at myself in the mirror and looking at the things that, were my things that was like, okay, yeah, Miracle, you need to do this, you need to do that if you really truly want the things that you want and stuff like that. And I think for whatever reason, again, this world that we live in, or maybe our generation, or whatever the case is, like to push the narrative like, oh, no, it's me. I don't need to change nothing. No, everybody just needs to accept me, whatever, And it's like, but then they want to, repeat patterns, and you keep repeating the same patterns because you're not growing and you're not learning and you're not changing. So again, this is my hand clap for both y'all. My applause to both y'all for at least
for you too.
Taking that first step of me too. Taking the first step to be like, you know what, I see something that I want to improve, that I need to improve. And whether it be for my mate or future mate, maybe that can be some residual, but ultimately for me, right? For me to grow and be better me. And so I think y'all are well on y'all's way, man. I think even just that step is progress. So we can't look down on like where we are and stuff, because I'm sure both of you all are not where you were before. And again, now you learning things, and you like that compromise you was talking about, you learning ways to compromise in the marriage and ideas and whatnot, and Summer as well. And so I'm excited. I mean, this is great, man. Look, I know we've been on here for a little minute. I don't know how y'all feeling and whatnot, but I mean, well, again, I just want to say thank you all for coming to and celebrate today as well, or tonight. Just a reminder to those that are watching this or now on the replay or whatever, that the names that are scrolling down are all people that have been on TSL since we kicked everything off in 2020. Like I said, I won't read all the names, but that's over 100 something names. That's crazy, y'all. That's over 100 something people on here. 1,000 videos, like but yeah. Oh, let's see. We got something. Oh, we got okay. I got something on my end.
I think you lost Scott.
Oh, okay. Oh man. Well, shout out to Summer as well for joining the conversation. And I mean, I'm trying to hold on to the tea, but I do have y'all know that I've been making more shows and having more concepts and things in mind. And I do have some. I'll give y'all this. If you're watching this far, you deserve some tea. So here's a little tea coming down the line that there will be a new show that was going to feature that lovely lady that was just on here this summer. So be on the lookout for that. Very excited about it. We're working out kinks and stuff like that, but yeah, so that's one thing as well. And yeah, I mean, let me see, did someone come back? Let's see.
She said she lost sound.
Yeah, I see. I think she just trying to come back here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I spilled the tea a little bit.
I can hear you now. I was like, dang, I can't hear nothing.
I spilled the tea a little bit. I told them, I didn't tell them what or nothing yet, but I just was like, they're going to be seeing you in a new show.
Hey, it's like this is your project. I'm just the guinea pig. You know,
Well, I think
I'm
it's
just
gonna
a
be
willing
great.
vessel, honey, because what I've been doing ain't working, Chad.
Well,
I'm trying to get on the. I'm trying to get on the Eyes Married Now team too.
Oh, girl, good luck. Bless your
I
heart.
know, right? I mean, I think that's what I
you know
want.
what?
You know, it's
Look,
been so long since I've been married. I, I think I want a partnership at this point. You know, somebody to do life with. You
I can
know,
see that. I'm done after this. Like, if for whatever reason me and this
it
man
don't
don't,
work out
that's it.
after that.
It's, I don't even think I want a partner. Like, I don't even know if we could be
Yeah.
friends. Like, can we just text each other or something? Like, I, like this is a lot. Nobody said
I
that
mean,
part in the
I
Disney
know it's gonna
movie.
come with this set of challenges. I think my fear is like that if I don't do it now, like the more time that I spend as a single woman, it's just gonna make me more want like I have my set of comforts that's such like where hey don't like even my son gets irritated because I'll be like I don't really care for your shoes to be right here. I think that they
Exactly.
should be over here, you know what I'm saying? So it's little minor like irritations that it's like I don't want to be bothered with that. So before I
Which
get to
is
a point where
which
I'm
is
like
why
too
you
far
have
gone,
two different apartments. You could buy a duplex
you
and you
right.
live in one half and he live in the other. I'm trying to tell you, I think outside the box. You just
Yeah,
need
for
a
real.
person. You don't need all that stuff. Me and my husband, look, we live in a truck. If I got to
Yeah,
argue about his shoes one more time and he argues about mine, which I think is funny because I'm like, well, move your shoes. And he's like, well, move yours. And I'm like, well, bro,
right.
like, we both don't like what either one of our shoes is. But, if I move his, he'll move mine. And the truck ain't that big, But
Right.
so, I mean, it's once we
It,
get our
it,
house, though, you can come to my half of the house, okay? We'll
Whew,
leave
I
this
would say
half.
I would like a big house where you get the east wing, I get the west wing, child.
Look,
Cause
you don't even need a big house. Then you got to clean that whole thing. You just need
oh
two
yeah, that's
rooms with
true.
their own bathroom. You can do two kitchens if you want, but just share the kitchen and the living room. Shoes. You don't need a big
I
old
don't
house.
need two
Keep your own
kitchens, honey, because
space.
I ain't finna be cooking nothing in there.
Okay, even better. Even better. You just
What
need a
we can do
nice
is we gonna have a pot and
look.
honey, put the money in there for the chef and the maid, because I ain't doing nan one of them
I'm
things.
telling you to get two apartments. Y'all can get like them hotel rooms that had a adjoining door. That's all you got. That's all
Yes.
you need.
And you could just walk through the other side.
Just
That
walk
sounds
through.
good. Because I'm about to be on a plane anyway. I'll be trying to go places and see stuff.
See?
Honey, you be here when I get back.
Exactly. Bring him a shirt.
I'll bring you a souvenir when I
Bring
get
him
back. I'm gonna take
sideways.
lots of pictures.
Take lots of pictures. That's what I'm saying. Think outside the box. But I know
Yeah.
y'all gotta go, but I do have one more question because I'm asking this because I genuinely don't know. What is love?
What is
America, you are.
love?
Yeah, it's your platform. Go on for it, sis.
Well, short answer, they say God is love. That's what they say.
Okay.
The funny thing is that to go on with that, I mean, there is multiple types of love, right? And
Okay.
at first I was thinking that might be too deep, and it's funny because I went on the platform, they wanted to ask me that, and I'm like, and they wanted to talk about all the different types, like agape and philos and all these different
Mhm.
eros and all that. And I just was like, why do we need all that? But then now thinking about it, I get it because I love my husband differently from the way I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get it now. But at the time I'm like, love is just, but yeah, there are different aspects. So in that regard, I guess there's multiple definitions of love. But I don't know how else to make it more simpler than that. I don't know. What would
I
you
don't know if
say?
there's a wrong answer. I just, I feel like everybody has their own definition. I tend to ask people now because I'm genuinely curious as to what people consider love.
Mm,
Because I feel like it's just another emotion. I think it's just another word, to be honest.
mm.
Kind of like happy, or anger or something. I mean, because like how you
Like
said,
an
okay, you
action
love,
word or some
maybe I don't
aspect.
even know if it's that. Cause okay, like you said, the way you love your mom, the way you love your sister, the way you love your husband, your son, your friends, it's all different.
Mhm.
And but I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily love or if it's just a level of importance, like who I would take a bullet for versus who I wouldn't, you know, or who I
I
would
can
get
see
into a
that.
fist fight for and who I would not. I just think it's a level of importance, but I'm like, because people say all the time, oh, I'm not in love with this person, or I've fallen out of love and such and
Yeah.
such. And I'm like, when it comes to marriage and relationships, it takes work. It doesn't take love. Love doesn't, it's not a requirement.
It's a choice.
It's, I,
Yeah.
like I said, for me, it's not even because me and my husband we're just like we don't really know what that word means. So we might say it or whatever, but it's just marriage takes work. That you have people cultures who do arranged marriages all the time.
That's true.
Those people don't even know each other, but they're married, and some people are good and some people are bad. But that has nothing to do. Those it's just people. Some people are evil, some people are not, and so. But those marriages can work and stand the test of time, and had nothing to do with love. It was
Mhm.
them putting in the time and the work and the effort to make it work for whatever their reasons were, whether it was not to embarrass their family, was it, because they want to stay together for the kids, or because they're like, hey, we can do this together, we can build a life together. I don't know. I don't know people's reasons. But for me and my husband, it's like because we're better together. We make each other's lives better. So that's our choice to stay together. And we've said that, well, I've made him promise. I said, if for whatever reason, if we're not on the same page anymore, we're feeling like marriage maybe isn't going to work for us, we have to exhaust any other method we can to make sure this is just not going to work. Once we've exhausted every measure possible, then at the end of it, we can say, okay, we're not better together anymore. But we can't just be
Mhm.
like, I'm tired of looking at your face. Like, let's divorce. You know,
Yeah.
that's not the option. So it's
I mean, I imagine it being unconditional as well, because again, you might not always like the person, but you still choose to love
hmm
them in spite of, or show love or be love or whatever the case is,
hmm
no matter what they're doing. Um,
I don't
Loaded
know if I would
question.
say. I would say I what I thought love was at a point was more of a feeling than an action, I guess.
Okay.
Back in the day, because I wanted to feel a certain kind of way, like I wanted to feel like all giddy every time the person came around, all that type of stuff. But now I think it's more so being able to allow somebody to um be who they are without trying to control the narrative of who they are. That makes sense. Like
That makes perfect sense. That was so beautifully stated. You got that recorded so we can play that back. We should trademark that
Yes.
tagline. That could be the tagline on y'all new show, whatever the new show gonna be.
Yeah, like I think that's what I want to provide, and I want provided for me at this point. Like it's not really about how you feel, because your feelings are going to go up and down and around depending
hmm
on what's going on with you or whatever. But I want it to be where somebody can admire. Like if you're in a field of beautiful roses and you say, I love roses, they're so beautiful to me. But
hmm
if you plucked every rose that you saw, you'd kill them. So
hmm
it's like I don't want to have to keep it so tight that it's not able to be what it is. You
Okay.
know, um, so I guess the best way I could describe it, you know, as an observation more so than a feeling.
Observation. I like that. I've never heard that one before. Um,
Mm.
I don't have an answer. I don't know exactly. I don't know what it is because it should be unconditional, like Miracle said. It's not
But it
often.
ain't never unconditional. Cause if he
No, I
cheat on
think
you, you gonna leave. If he ain't doing what you want him to do, you gonna leave. I mean, like most people.
not for everybody.
Yeah,
I
not
think
for
it's.
everybody, but
I
you
think
have
probably
conditions.
only.
People
I
put
think
conditions on love
mothers,
all the time. Like if you
maybe
don't make me
mothers.
feel this kind of way, I don't love you. Like when you were just saying, "Oh, I fell out of love." How do you fall out?
Yeah.
Like it's either I have to wake up every day and choose this person again. Like it's a
hmm
daily thing. I fell out because I stopped putting the effort to love you for you. Like that's
hmm
that's that's a deliberate decision. not do to work at it anymore. Like it's going to develop itself. And you just said that's not how marriage works. So if you and your husband didn't decide every day that I want to do this like with you, then it would fall apart.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I guess that's what I'm saying. Like that's where the unconditional part. But see, I don't know. Like, do we think that people that are dating are going to not say they can't be there or feel that or and stuff, but it's like with commitment, then that's where they can come in and they're like, oh well, now I've fallen out of love. You know what I mean? Like if they don't have that commitment beyond, or I don't know if it was just the marriage though, because I mean, even in dating, you choose a person and depending on how you're doing your dating life, you're choosing someone and you're like, okay, I choose you to like with and date X, Y, and Z. Then you're committed. You constantly are choosing that person, and then you ultimately marry. If you're going in that route or in that order, and then constantly continue that pattern of. I don't know. I guess I just was wondering about the dating aspect.
Well, consider this. Like, look at
you hear
it.
more people say falling
Really,
out of love with that.
love is really the individual person that you're speaking of. Like, say, if I say it's love, love is really me, because it's not really what the other person, nothing really about the other person. It's how I'm viewing that other person that makes me determine that I want to feel love feelings toward them. You know what I'm saying? So it really begins and ends with me. Once I stop looking at them the way that I felt when I said I love them, is when the love gets taken away. It's really not anything else but my observation that I'm creating, because we're creating this experience anyway. So it's like if I'm looking at you and say, you know what, I'm just choosing to like you because like, I like this about you. It's me observing you in your raw, self and saying I like that. But when people do something to you that you dislike and you observe more of what you dislike than what you do like, then that's when those love feelings, you stop looking at them with those love goggles. Like, I'm observing things that I don't like now. So that feeling is gone away. But really, was love ever really there, or was it you?
No, and that's why I said
Putting
I think love is a feeling, and I think that I think love, the word itself, I guess, and how it got marketed to us. I think it was just marketing and branding because it doesn't make sense on how we use it. So it's kind of like how we use the word racism. Racism is a catch-all for everything. Everything is not racism. Some things are, stereotyping. Some things are prejudices. You know what I mean? But we call everything racism. I mean, it's still, it makes you feel a certain way. But I'm like, that's not really what that word means,
Right.
So I think with love is it was marketing and branding. They did a very good job at it, and so it's a lot of emphasis put on something that doesn't really mean a lot. Because, like you just said, it's a commitment. You can do that while you're dating. You can. Me and my husband, before we actually got married, we're just committed to each other, and love doesn't change that year or nay. I mean, some days. I remember one year we had a fantastic year. It felt like we could talk about any and everything. Like we were open, we were on the same vibe, we were moving. It was magnificent. The next year, it was like the deepest valley you could ever find. And I don't know what happened. I wasn't going to divorce him for it, but because he had already taught me that there's just certain things that you don't break up for. And there was nothing to break up for. It was just we have to get back on the right track. So love had nothing to do with any of that, whatever it means. Like you said, it's just, in my head, it's just another word for happy feeling. So like you could be happy, you could be ecstatic, you could be over the moon. These are all happy, but they have different levels. So I'm like, love, I feel like it's just maybe a really great level of I really, really like you. Like it's a really high level of I really like you. It's
well, I got a question for y'all then.
Okay.
What do y'all think about 1 Corinthians 13:4, right? And through 8, I believe. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envy or boast, it's not arrogant or rude, it does not insist in its own way, it is not irritable, it does not rejoice in wrongdoing or rejoices in the truth. Like, do y'all think that is like, does that help understand the word love?
Not
does that affect your thoughts about it?
No, not the word love, because of course, my dad, grandfather, brother, I got pastors all over the place. I grew up with that verse, but
Yeah.
the word, love doesn't
Mm.
mean anything. It's just a word, and we give meanings to words all the time. That's you know, you can't give a meaning to the ocean. The ocean is the ocean. It is what it is. You can call it whatever you want, but the ocean is what it is, and it's gonna do what it do. But for words, especially the English language, we give meaning to words. That's how bootylicious ended up in the dictionary, and bling bling ended up in the dictionary.
I'm
Like,
screaming.
but we gave a word meaning, like we made it mean something. And so that word, even though it's written in the scripture, everything it says in that verse is true. But that is what commitment means. That is what being in a committed relationship. And it doesn't matter who it is. Y'all are mothers. I'm assuming that verse applies to your children as
Yeah.
it well. It can apply to a partner, it can apply to your mother, it can apply to your father, your brother, it can apply to anyone who you deem is worthy to. Now, there are some people to
Mhm.
me who don't deserve that. There are some truly evil people in this world, and people want to say people are evil, blah blah blah. No, there are some people who should literally have their head chopped off and thrown into the ocean, and nobody should even think twice about it. That is my
Right.
honest thought. There are some evil
Yeah.
people in the world. They don't deserve love is patient, kind, and knows no wrong. They don't deserve that. But there are some people who you will let into your life who deserve that kind of commitment. And it's like I said, the word love is just a word to me. But everything else that's said in that verse is true. And if you find somebody you can apply all of that to, no matter if it's a platonic or romantic relationship,
Hold on to that.
boy, how blessed are you? It's so hard to find.
That's so true. That's so true. Even on any level, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
But to me, that verse is simply just saying it's not something that can be controlled. If you think about it the opposite way, when you are being impatient with something, the only reason why you're impatient with it is because it's not going your way. It doesn't look the way you want it to look. It's not behaving the way that you want it to behave. And so, you want it to do what makes you feel good or whatever. It's not allowing it to just be. And, like if God is love and you see the God in every person, wouldn't you treat God that way? You
Mhm.
know? So, and I think that I think we tend to separate God, like God is not God. Now, I won't say that God's love is in everybody because, like she just said, it's some evil mugs folks out here.
There's plenty of people rejecting God's love. How about that?
Exactly. But if
And
it is
therefore they
someone
become
that,
very evil.
right, if there's somebody that you could recognize God's love within, then that's how you would treat them anyway. That's just like a way to see God's love or presence in someone else because that's how God is treating you. So you would reciprocate that.
That's reminding me of the golden rule. And I always ask that question. Like back when I was young, I was like, okay, it say do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if they do something, so am I supposed to do what they do to me, or am I supposed to do what I want them to do to me? I was asking those because they ain't doing whatever me, so that means I'm supposed to do it back to them, right? But then no, if I do that, then people gonna do it to me. So what I'm understanding is that we should do what we want done to us, regardless of what those people do.
Yeah.
Which is hard. You know what I mean?
I,
It's not
I,
the
I
easiest
I'm
mean,
thing
being
to
what I
do.
honest.
would want them to do, like if I was an
I don't
evil
know about
bitch,
that, sis.
I would want somebody to just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? If that's how they feel about me, they don't
No.
have to harm me or call me out my name or mistreat me. They can get the heck on because they don't have to be in my presence. And that's how I would want, like, let's both do that. Like I don't have to stick around to point out how sorry you are or how much I dislike you or how much you're a piece of crap.
Oh no, that's
But you can just go away and then I can enjoy my environment without you in it, and vice versa. If you don't like me, how about leave? Like instead of demanding that I treat you like I treat me, I don't like you, so I'm not gonna treat you like me because I like me. So, like your best bet is to leave. Now, if you don't, then I can't say that I'm that type of person who ain't gonna make you feel like you want to leave because I am.
Oh, we just went somewhere. I just to go to the room. My goodness.
I'm gonna make you.
It's a
I'm gonna
She
make
golden.
don't want
you
to do
want to
unto
get away
others.
from me. That's what I'm
I'm
gonna make
just
you
saying,
want.
like, if that same Bible always it says an eye for an eye. So I don't know why people skip up the Old Testament like it don't exist.
Hello,
Well,
But
hello.
I mean, you
Live in
know,
I'm
the
just
book.
saying.
Live in the
I mean,
book.
I'm not a. My mom is a extremely patient person, and I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know how she got that way. Her mom is amazing too, or was amazing. So I mean, I get it. But like I said, I'm not like her. Unfortunately, I'm like my dad. And
but you working on it, sis. You talking about
no, no,
That
look,
no
I
parts
can
of
work
it.
for the rest
Sometimes
you
you
of
working
gotta
on
my life,
that
hold on.
part?
and I'm never gonna reach her level. Like y'all talking about God and people. Like I mean, her and my mother-in-law. These are two women that for all the things that were done to them, the life they kind of led. I don't know how they ended up being the women that they are. It's ridiculous. It couldn't have been me. I don't know. So I'm not the peaceful, patient person. I'm not a aggressor or I'm not a confrontational person. But it's just if you're
Just don't
telling
start
me
no none.
my husband's like that all the time. See, I'm the person that's like let's do right. But he's like, but you did this. Why won't you think I respond? Why wouldn't you think I would respond like this? And I'm like, but I didn't do that. I'm like, I stepped on your toe, but you punched me in my shoulder. Like that's not equal. And he was like, to you, but you don't get to decide how I respond to something that you did to
That's
me.
true.
And I was like, oh shoot. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
true.
yeah, it is a do unto others. So you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Now, if you're telling me to treat you like a dirtbag, I mean, that's how you treat me. Then I think the best thing is like let's leave each other alone. For the people you can't
That
leave
part.
each other alone, like my husband, we can't get away from each other. We're driving, so you just have to. I go to sleep. That's my. I was like, let me just go back in.
Reset. That's what I said. I said that earlier today. Sometimes you just gotta power off.
Like,
Power on off.
exactly. I
Once
literally
you reboot, hopefully the energy is different. But
and that's what I stopped doing. I stopped hoping for the energy to be different, and I changed my energy because he's human. He has a lot going on, and sometimes we look at what's going on, and at this moment, but you don't know what's going on inside someone's head, where they're at, literally. And like I said, I can't do that for every single person I meet. I can't do that for strangers. I can't do that for everyone. It's just the truth. But he's my husband. If I can't have patience for anybody, then you know how they always say you treat the people you love the most, the worst, or something like that. You know how like
yeah.
families always gets the front end of stuff. And
Hmm.
so I'm like, if I have to change the energy, so it's like, okay, well, let me go to sleep. Let me wake up. Let me be better. Let me reset. So I am a de-escalator, but I'm the one who escalated it in the first place. So, for me. My job.
Look, but when I came back, as long as I can, I think that's a big thing too. Like being able to move past problems quickly. Like when
Yes, that's
if
the
you
one
if
thing
you
I got
don't,
from my mom. One thing I got
yeah,
from
if
her.
you
That's
hold
it.
on and harbor it,
Yeah,
then it's just like it's gonna it's gonna be a
that's
snowball effect, and
yeah,
yeah, it's gonna get bigger and bigger.
yeah. I mean, I can get over an argument in 4 or 5 minutes. Like it's
Yeah.
yeah, because
Now I would
what
like to argue like with people like that. Like, just get past it. Like I might
yeah,
I'm gonna get my point across, you gonna get your point across. And then
hmm
after that, it's like, all right, now what you want for dinner? You know?
exactly. That's me. I'm like, okay, well, that's done. So
Right.
all right, what we watching? Like, and he was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, why? Like that was just a
Yeah, we
little
good.
earlier. Like, you ain't over that by now. Like
Right.
it's been 2 minutes. Like, are you serious? And so,
Right. You still hanging on to the best?
but my mom always said, what she learned early on was that you will be upset about something, and the person who made you mad is going on about their day. Not even sometimes they don't even realize that they made you mad, but you didn't spend your
Facts.
day being upset. She's like, why would you waste your time on this earth with being upset with something that's probably not that serious, and that person don't even know or care that they made you upset in the first
Don't
place.
care.
So
They don't move on.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I think because she started teaching me that when I was really, really little. Like at this point, I'm like, that's second nature. But I wish she'd have taught me the rest of the stuff so I could be like her. But she didn't teach me that. So
Come on, dude.
she's so sweet. Like she's so awesome. But I'm just
I
like,
used to
You
want to be
are
like
so
a
sweet
really
and
sweet
awesome. What are you
person.
talking about?
I am not. I am.
Well, you have been to me, my sister.
I mean, yeah. But if you met my mama, that's like a whole cavity across your mouth. Like that's
Um,
it's unnaturally sweet.
um, I like
Like
that. I used to
Georgia,
want to be that
Georgia
way,
and
but
sweet tea.
I think I gave up on that theory of like we ever reaching that type of peace. Um,
Mm-mm.
you
Yeah,
know, like it's just I don't think I don't know. I think I may have let life affect me too much to ever be that
it is
soft.
never too
You
late.
know, like I don't even
It's just gonna
desire to
take
be
long.
that calm. Like
Oh, okay. Well,
I
never
like
mind.
the rash. You know, I like to be the little spice that I am. I like to be like a
Yeah,
little fire. You know, little pop pop.
yeah, I get it. I'm the same. I'm the same way. I wanted to be able to have both, you know. And so the one thing, but what she gave me was enough, which is, it's just not that serious. And more in my head, I'm like, it's. I've had so many things happen within the last few years that happen instantly, and I'm like, anything could literally happen to me. We're out here on this road. You
Yeah,
know how many accidents I've passed. And I
every
call them,
day.
they're not even accidents. They're not, these are things that were completely preventable, but now somebody is gone or seriously injured for something that was not that serious. Somebody had to look down at their phone, or, they missed their exit, so they need to hurry up and get over. It's just a bunch of dumb second decisions that
Mhm.
have completely changed people's lives. And this is what we do for a living. So I'm like, it's really not that serious. And I'll keep
Mhm.
trying to tell myself in my head so I don't escalate it to the point where it gets out of control. I'm like, if I can bring it down, and then I have to learn to sincerely apologize. I'm like, I used to apologize for something if I know I did wrong, but now I have to look at it from a different lens. I'm like, what did you actually do? Like, you could have done this, handled this completely differently.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Mhm.
And then just, I have to realize I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't
Mm.
want to be wrong,
That's
but I
good.
am. So,
That's good because I'm telling you, that was just
Everybody,
my thing.
the
That's my
cultivation
thing.
period
I
is
was just
ongoing.
writing, because I'm journaling, while I'm going through all this stuff because I'm like
yeah.
having to like stare at myself like straight on and be like, what do you really need to fix about yourself? And temperance is one of those things. Like I'm so moody and irritable over the littlest thing. Like, I'll be snapping over it because I'm hungry. I'll
Yeah.
be like, I hate everybody. I'm starving. It's like, well, just eat something. Like, or, you know,
Just eat something.
it's just little stuff and my road rage. And then I'll be like, oh, that person, I hope your mom gets in a car wreck. Like, why do I need to be that upset
Oh my
over
goodness.
something, somebody cut you off in traffic? Like, you don't even know what they were thinking. They probably
Yep.
didn't, they might not even notice me or something, but it pisses me off. And it's like, because you could kill us both, like I'm thinking
Yep.
this way, but they probably wasn't even thinking like that. And,
I mean,
even though
I
it
don't
was
know.
stupid.
I don't know if you're in Atlanta, but if
Yes,
y'all Atlanta drivers, I'm sorry, y'all are
it's a
horrible.
it's a
I've
mess.
driven all over this country, and I mean, Atlanta is in our top,
It's
our
the
top,
worst.
top five. I think maybe top three.
California is
Like,
bad too, I
hate,
heard.
I hate driving through. Oh my, I cannot describe how many
Sis,
ways I hate driving through
you
Atlanta.
Yeah,
you
it
remember
sucks.
our
It really
California?
does.
Oh, California. Now
Yeah,
California
I
just
was
got,
saying I thought
there's a lot of
California was at the
traffic.
top too.
No,
California, New York.
remember the
California is
GPS?
so bad. That GPS, her GPS shut off on us. It was so irritating us. It was like, make a U-turn. It was like, no, we're gonna go this way. Make a U-turn. It was like, no, we'll go make a U-turn. Goodbye. I was like,
Right. Oh wow, really?
I
shut
never
off.
and then I never had that do that before, other than
No,
that one time.
that one
It
time
was
she shut
crazy.
off on us. She was like, you're not gonna listen? Okay. And I'm like, that's a trait I need to learn too. Okay, I gave you my advice. You want to hear it? Let me just shut off. Got a lot
For
to learn from
real.
you.
That's a lesson right there. Oh, I'm
That
gonna tell
was
you
a
next
lesson.
time. Maybe you didn't hear me the first two times, but after this third
Yeah.
time, you're gonna keep doing it your way. Bye.
And she was so pleasant. It was like, goodbye. I was like, oh, geez.
We was like, did the thing really cut off?
But it turns out we were going up into a mountain. There was no other way. We had to make a U-turn.
Oh
And we had to make
wow.
a turn.
This
She was
is
like,
why you
okay,
always need
stupid.
to
I
listen.
was
Like,
like,
But
see,
we just wanted to get out of the traffic because we was like sitting in
it
a
was
parking
so
lot.
bad. It
oh
was so
wow.
It
bad.
felt like we were sitting in the
So
parking
bad.
lot. And I was like, we got to get off the next exit. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
we and then we did and went. We got some great pictures. Well, Miracle did. I didn't get out the car. That was a little too high for me. But
Oh.
I took your picture from the car. I remember that
Oh,
specifically.
okay.
Okay.
Because I was like, that's a little too high. I'm not even scared of heights, but I was like, nah, something about that. Just like, don't get out the car. It's like, okay, I got you, Mozart. I'm gonna sit right here.
go look at these pictures. Hold on. Like, I don't remember. I mean, I
I
do.
ain't never
I
seen
kind
them,
of remember, but I don't.
but I don't know what happened if they accidentally got deleted or not. But so yeah.
Oh,
But
Well,
I mean,
y'all,
because
I
I
will say this.
I
I
made an
really
album.
enjoyed meeting you tonight.
yeah, I'll show you my face one day, but I wasn't ready. It was,
Okay.
Miracle was like, see you later. I was like, wait, on camera? Like, hold on.
Right.
That
Okay.
ain't right. Like, I didn't put no shea butter on. I'm looking ashy out here.
You
Listen,
know what?
I
Well,
was
let
like,
me find my sis.
look, I
Oh,
said,
want to see them
she
last
gonna get
sister?
the face that God gave me this evening. I wasn't gonna do nothing.
No, you look gorgeous. You're like
Oh,
radiant.
thank
You
you.
said you were 40, 42 or some foolishness you just
Yes.
lied and said about you every bit of 30. But, you know, whatever. If
Yeah.
you want to be 42 in your world, I guess I could have gave you 31. But
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take all of them years back.
there ain't nothing going on in these 30s. Keep where you at.
Well,
But
if I had this like lifestyle now with no kids at 31, I would take it.
Well, you don't technically.
No, I'm saying at 31.
at
Oh,
31, yeah.
you
I
never
said I need to
know.
do better. I'm like, I need to, I got my black soap and shea butter, and I'm like, girl, get up and wash your face. Just being lazy. Drink some more water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had an aunt who was 90. She just died this year, I think, and she was 92. And I don't just looked fabulous. I mean, there's no other way to really put it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna look like that if I don't put in the effort. Food is
Yeah,
different now, water is different now. Like, even stuff that they had available at their time was just it's just not the same. I had a Kit Kat the other day and I'm like, this does not taste like the Kit Kat I remember when I was in high school. Like, this is super
a lot
sweet.
of stuff tastes like it's genetically modified or something.
Yeah, there's so much going on with it. So I'm like, you can't even it's not the same stuff that they had. Like the potato my grandfather used to eat is not the potato I'm getting.
It's
So
not.
I'm gonna have to do extra, to take care of my body and take care of myself and my skin if I want to look how I want to look in my head, like how I'm gonna look when I'm in my 90s if I reach that, that. But I'm like, if you're gonna reach that, you need to put in some time and effort because that's not gonna be, natural. That black is gonna start to crack if we don't take care
At
of
some
it
point,
because
yeah.
the environment around us is changing and everything that we put in our body and on our bodies is also changing with it. So we have to be active and, you know, put in more effort.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do now. Like I don't even know. I just started aging backwards as the kids started getting older. Then I just noticed that things was clearing up. Like I was like, okay, cool. Like maybe I'm
Okay,
more
cool.
stress free or something. I don't know. But the only one thing I would say was like a regimen or something is that I never dry my skin because I got real dry skin.
Okay.
So I never use a dry towel, and I
I
always
just stole one of your pictures.
I
Oh,
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 see, shut
oh,
up.
that's nice. I like that picture. That's when I
Cut it
turned.
down. No, you're beautiful.
Oh yeah, in that picture, but how I look right now,
Talk
I got
about
the
in
booger wolf
that
going
picture.
on right
No, that's your face, girl.
now.
Um,
It is. If I tie my hair up and at least, like I said, put some shea butter on my face, but I just wasn't ready. Like we was cooking,
yeah,
like I left
one
my
trying to
husband.
do all that extra. I
We
feel
was
you
supposed to
though.
be eating dinner and watching a movie. I'm over here chatting with y'all.
But
So
yeah, that's the only thing I would say. And I never dry my skin out. Like in the shower, I just
mhm.
use oil while my skin is still wet. Rub that in and go. I don't like to dry my skin out, but that's because I had like severe dry skin and eczema real bad,
Okay,
and I peel real bad, like in here and right here in my face. And
okay, yeah,
I don't like to look like I'm, you know, getting like a snake.
yeah. Okay. I mean, as far as I didn't have, and I still don't have, thank the Most High for that, skin issues. But black soap and shea butter is just. I was like, and I was literally was talking to my husband about that either yesterday or earlier this morning. Like, we have to use stuff that's made for us. It's you got
Yeah,
all these
that's true.
companies like Dove and all these other stuff who are trying to make things for black skin, and they're just that's their company. I'm not mad at them for trying to capitalize on a group of people. I get it. They bought their money, but we as
Facts.
people have to do better because this stuff is not made for our skin. I'm like, I think we were using black soap and shea butter before we even moved to Africa.
Oh,
Look at Dr.
look
Miracle.
at y'all, sister.
And that was like, oh my gosh, that was I don't know, 10, 13 years ago.
Yeah,
Something
Yeah, I was about
2011.
to
like
say y'all look about 2022.
Yeah, like 11 years ago. And so, but going to Ghana, just was able to get black soap and shea butter, closer to the source. But I just order
Yeah.
stuff on Amazon. That's what I use. So that's
You know
stuff
what I
about
want to
Ghana.
get
I didn't
though?
think about that.
I want to
What's that?
get when I went to Jamaica, I got this lime. They had dug the lime out of the rock and
Hmm.
put it on our skin and let it sit like a mask, and we rinsed it off in that salt water. That's what I
Oh,
want. Where was
that's
y'all
our
at?
superhero day.
Yeah. And we
So
always used to match every
yeah,
time
that's
we.
all I was about to
I
say
used to
because I
host
was
these events. That was my first public events that I used to host back in Florida, and
Uh-huh.
it was like this open mic, but it was
gonna
more than an open mic.
yeah, this is a
It
little
was
bit
like
of
an open mic variety show. Like you could come and do whatever you do. You could come do improv. We had the most crazy stuff we had was Sword Swallower, and who else was crazy than him?
Uh,
I don't even remember him, but go ahead.
Oh, you don't. Oh, but he didn't come that night. We had somebody come. Yeah, but yeah, so you can come and do anything basically, sing, dance, whatever. And she was there, and she was that person that was like right there with me, like yeah.
And we always
Like
dress
if
for
she was
some
here, I
reason.
think she would be doing Miracle Play stuff. I really do. I believe she'd be right there.
yeah, I believe that.
Like Summer's right here now. Now I don't know, would you be in my shows or not? You might would be. Would you be in the show with me?
What show?
Like
What
My
I
my
miracle
dinner show and
plays.
stuff. Like if you was here, like would you be
no,
in the
like with
show?
people? No.
Yeah.
She would be at the door then. She would be at the door
I
or
would be at the door. Like, look, I
behind
got
the
the
scenes.
degree in radio and TV broadcasting. Now, if you want me to talk to some folk, I can talk to some folk. But you talking about getting up in front of people and no, ma'am,
No
no, ma'am,
haps.
sir. Uh-uh.
I can't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, you
Mm.
did dance with me though, because she and my
I did
other
that,
homegirl
but
they
it
would
was because
dance.
it
I
was
had
you,
just
and
started recording my music.
I did a rap for
They
my
were
husband
doing dance.
because it was for him. But it
Um,
was like so. And I'd say rap. I don't know if it was like poetry to sound. I don't know what it's called. He liked it, but yeah, but it's because it was Miracle. Miracle acts. Miracle doesn't ask for much. So when she acts, you try to
that's
jump up to do. And
I
so
know. That's why I was like, shoot, she could tell you I was like, I ain't feeling it today. I just wasn't feeling the day at all. But I feel much better now because we got the Kiki and all of that stuff. But I was just like, I don't feel like being bothered, honey. I'm dragging it.
yeah, I
But
understand.
I didn't want to let her down and
Disappoint
not.
Miracle. Exactly. Miracle,
No,
you're you gonna make me cry.
don't
You
you
Oh
start. What you
no.
talking
I'm
about?
trying not to, but because I can't. There are no words. Like even when I text Miracle the stuff, I be crying. You're
Oh.
amazing.
But
You're
you are still a miracle. I do tell you that all the time. You are
you're
like one
amazing.
of the most selfless people that I know, and you
Ever met
don't
my
Y'all ain't
find
gonna do this to
people
me on
like
tonight.
that. Like you will literally, if somebody tells you, "Hey, I want to be a superhero," you be like, "I can find you a costume." You know, like you don't even have to be
Exactly.
asked. For a lot of the effort that you put in, and I tell you
Exactly.
all the time, I admire that about you because like being around you makes me feel like a selfish person,
It really
because I
does.
do think about myself so much.
It
And
really
you are even with everything that you do, and create for yourself, you always have an extra 5 minutes to create something for somebody else to help them along the way. And that's a huge thing, like to be that kind of person. So even though I was like, I ain't even feeling it, child. And I was like, but I'm gonna jump on. I didn't realize I was on stage this long, but I was like, I at least had to jump on and say
Mhm.
something, to congratulate and celebrate you, because that's just from a real place. I know that you would go above and beyond for me without me even asking you to do it. And so what's 5-10 minutes out of my day to
Yep.
give that to you, you know?
And I had the same thought. Like I said, me and my husband were cooking, and I was like, "Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Let me get on," because I'm in California. I'm the time zones and the time
Yeah.
change. I don't even know what day it is. I'm so off. That's why I was asking you earlier. I was like, "Wait, what time is
Um,
it your time?" Because I'm so confused. But so like we were cooking and we were supposed to watch a movie and eat and stuff like that. I was like, "Well, I gotta hop on Miracle stuff." I said, "Give me like 10, 15 minutes." He was like, "Okay, no problem." I don't even know if he's still woke. I think he,
Right, because it's been a while now. Yeah,
yeah, I think
it's
he done
been
ate and
Oh
laid
like
no.
2 hours since.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I have
Um,
to definitely go
look,
apologize.
literally,
So,
look. I had just got my little grass for dinner, and
no, 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 boo, we got real food.
look, no, no, no. This is what I got because I just stopped, eating meat and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
so I had
Oh,
just
yeah.
stopped by the store on my way back from my daughter's house to get back over here to try. I was like, let me just grab something to eat real quick, and
Yeah,
I sat here, ate a couple of bites, and I was like, oh shoot, it's 7:20.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, so I was like, let
exactly.
me just stop eating and let me just jump on real quick, and I'll resume later. You know.
Exactly. Well, I had my Instapot working, so I was like, well, by the time the rice finish in the Instapot, I should be about done. Girl, that rice probably cold. But it's all for America. So who cares? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, for me, like I don't know you from the entertainment side, which I'm not an entertainment person. I'm not the arts or creative person. I don't do the books and the music and the acting and all that. I know you have that whole side of your life that those people who are around you that you keep creating opportunities for and trying to create more opportunities for. I know they can love and appreciate you for that. But that's not the miracle that I know. The miracle I know is just a friend. You're
Yeah.
the friend's friend. Like you're the friend that everybody wishes they had in their life, the people that they pray for and hope for. And they just don't seem to find or can't find or can't have. And I feel sorry for people like that who will never have a miracle in their life.
That's so true.
It's almost like I don't know if y'all saw
Stop.
like Cheryl Lee Raff's Emmy speech. But she was like, if you get a Quinta Brunson in your corner, she's doing all that. I'm like, that's a miracle. You were in my corner just as a friend, as a person who's going through this life together. Like I said, the stuff you did for me and Kareem, just letting us be. It's just letting us be people, just letting us never no judgment, never questioning, never like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be with that guy. You were always rooting for our marriage as if you were in it. And
Uh-huh.
it was just people I feel really bad for people who do not have a friend like you. You are I don't even remember we always say I don't really know how we met. It was through Rachel. I hope she's doing well wherever she is. But I don't remember the day that I met you. I remember her telling me about you. And I remember Rachel moving or something like that, but that's about all I remember. And the next thing I know, me and you in California, like, here we are. Like I've known
Yeah.
you almost as long as I know my husband, probably like a year. Like, so I've been with him 15 years. It's probably 14 years for me and you. So you're like the second longest relationship I've ever had in my life outside of my family. And I, I don't have words.
Oh, don't do it. Don't
Stop,
you
sister.
do
My
it.
I'm
goodness,
Your
sorry.
mindset, girl.
I'm sorry.
That's so sweet, though.
As much as I said how much I talked about love earlier, I love you.
I love you
I care for you.
too.
I care for you
I love
deeply.
y'all. I
Oh,
And
listen. Well,
your
yeah.
heart is wholesome. The how ambitious you are is inspiring. Me and Kareem always said if we had money, we would pour it into you, no matter no questions asked. It didn't even matter what you said you wanted to do with it. You just be like, here, we would invest in Miracle, not in what you're doing. Like, oh, I want to do this, and we're like, we're not investing in that. We're investing in you, because
yeah.
we know you'll get it done. But
Yeah.
beyond that, even if you did nothing else in your life, you're just an amazing person. NJ, in the message I talk about how my mom is, that's how NJ would describe you.
Yeah, I think so.
You're going to be that mother that people people need in their life, but unfortunately won't have.
That's true.
You're going to be the wife that men claim they want, but they're never ready for.
Yeah. Oh, oh, you said
So
a word right there. Mm,
Dario is
he's
that's
a
a man's
blessing.
man. That's how we say it. He's a man's man. And he was the man that you needed, which is why the Most High presented him to you. Right, you just happened to be, at your friend's house, and he was like, "Oh, you need some help," just random stuff. But that he was the man for you. Remember that he was designed for you. You were created for him. Do what you have to do to save it.
Yep.
Think outside the box. Cherish it. Do whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that Dario knows he's the man. He's the man's man. He's blessed to have you just as much as you're blessed to have him. But I will say this for women, that the Most High didn't create men to be our helpmate. He created us to be their helpmate, which
That's
means he didn't get it right the first time. He had to create us to make the perfect creature. So we do have to walk in our own power because we were created to help somebody who couldn't help themselves. That's why women were created because the men are incomplete. They don't want to believe that, but y'all incomplete.
They don't.
That's why we were created. But you have to let us help you. And with the right man and the right woman, you could conquer the world. You and Dario have that. NJ
Yeah.
will conquer this world because you've created it.
Hmm.
Put everything you got into it. Savor it, cherish it, grow it. And I'm gonna stop because I do not feel like crying. My eyes will be white, which is awesome. I love it, but I don't feel like crying tonight. Trying to eat my chicken and rice.
That's
Not over
so
No,
real.
food.
but I co-sign on all of that, everything that she said, because even like when I first met you, I've literally in all this time never, I have to say, I have never seen you angry. I have literally no, like I've seen you like upset, by people or whatever, but I've like, you've seen me fly off the handle uncountable amount of times. You know what I'm saying? Like where you just get quiet. You don't even like say, "Hey, why are you so mad?" Like or none of that. Like you just like a tempered person for real. Like you really are. I don't even know how that you're that way. Like I mean, I remember I had to cuss that lady out um for you who because I was like, you ain't gonna take no shit off this lady. But just the fact that you are meekness, you are kind, all of those things like she just described, like it is hard to duplicate, like I always say I thank God for me coming to that show and meeting you that day, because I don't have another person in my life that I could talk to,
Hmm.
like I can talk to you, where you genuinely care about what I have to say. Like a lot of people
Right.
would just be listening, but they don't really give a damn, you know. But like
Fact.
where you'll be like, you personalize it. If I say I'm hurting about a thing, I mean, before I can even get my full sentence out, you already done found 10 solutions for the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's just genuine. It's just very genuine, and it's a once in a lifetime. Um, you know,
Friendship.
yeah, person to meet,
You're literally, and I don't want to say an angel on earth, but
but kinda.
yeah, I go ahead and say it. Yeah, you can be an angel on earth. Why not? If people say this is heaven on earth anyway, so yeah,
Yeah,
you would be the angel. I would be the one that's stuck in purgatory somewhere. Like we don't
right.
really know
Somewhere
what to
like you'll be
like.
like, I'm trying to help you, and I'll be like, let me burn.
Like she's like stuck between heaven and hell. Like we don't really know where to put her. She's like all the way evil, but not quite nice enough.
Right,
And then
exactly.
there's
Like
be
we can
miracles
pick
like
the five
"Look,
nice
really
things that you did, but then you cuss them people out like real bad.
and miracles like
Oh,
see
Lord.
you're the yin to our yang or whichever is supposed to be the nice part. Um,
Right.
so and that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, so it's even if you think about it sounds like me and Summer are very similar. And it's
Yeah.
very funny that we're both drawn to Miracle, who is the opposite of us.
Yeah.
So that goes the same with as far as women and if you the men you're attracting, it's the same thing. What energy are you putting
Oh,
out?
I
Because
need to find a male miracle.
yeah,
You might be done saying something now.
it's the
You might
energy.
done crack
It's
the
the
code.
energy you put it out. But see, but
Yeah, crack the
that's even
code.
hard because Miracle is one of a kind.
For real, for real.
Oh,
No, but
Lord.
your patience, like I have to have somebody
Yeah,
who's as patient as you are, like for real, and can't be moved by when I be having my mood swings and stuff. They can't be like get mad too. Like you just go quiet when I start going off. You just go
but
quiet.
I mean, it's the truth to the opposites attract type situation. But it's I think the opposites attract because you're trying to find something that will complement your life. You don't want to find something exactly how you are. And so
Right.
which is why I think how we found Miracle, how it works, because like I said, I haven't talked to Rachel in years probably since Disney. And she was cool. But it's like me and Miracle clicked and we always have. And it's even no matter how much time she said she messaged me. I just saw the message. That was probably like a month ago you messaged me. I didn't even see this message. And and I'm like, I gotta and every time I was like, I got to text Miracle, I was driving, and when I stopped, I forgot. And so, and I'm like, I'm kicking myself because I'm like, you've got to be a better friend. Like, you can't treat people like that, especially people who are like Miracle. Like, you got to make sure that you can be there as much as you possibly can be there, especially for people like you. You, she's the once in a lifetime. You're not gonna find a male Miracle, but what you can find is somebody who can compliment you, and
Yeah.
you just have to give off the energy that you are a good person too. It's just I'm different from you. But like, I remember I read a post somewhere where the guy was like, no, it was a woman that's like, men, why do you like women who are spicy? So basically like me in summer. And the man was like, well, because somebody got to tell the waitress that my order was wrong and it ain't gonna be me.
That's us all day
And
because you
that's
ain't gonna talk to my boo crazy. Now that's what you ain't
okay.
finna
I'm like, that's not what you ordered, okay?
for
And so
real.
you have to find somebody who compliments you, but but you also have to realize that you are trying to merge your life with someone else's, and it's hard to do, and you're not going to be 100% you to do that. So finding a male Miracle, no, not so much. Good luck with
I
that. Now
know.
you trying to
I
find
wish that would
unicorns
be so
and
easy, so much
Loch Ness
easier for me.
monsters, and you trying to find the good. You like, you might as well go find them if you're gonna find a male Miracle. But what
Oh
you
God.
can is somebody who has like you said, the characteristics of Miracle. So patient, understanding, freely giving, and the ability to listen.
Yeah.
And Miracle, like you said, she got solutions. She's gonna hop on it. Miracle said she's gonna do something that was already done 2 weeks ago.
I'm telling you,
That's the
before
thing.
you even
I'm like, God damn it, you're so quick. You're
it's
so
like did
fast.
God share it with you first? Because how you get these solutions so fast? I've been asking for this for months.
First of all, man, bro, y'all ain't gonna do this to me on tonight.
You hate
Celebrate
compliments for
I'm
some
you.
gonna
reason. I
try
don't
to,
know why.
huh? What you saying
You be
now?
hating to hear, but I said you be hating to hear when we put too much seasoning on you. But you know what? That's if nothing else, I feel like you should know. And I know God gets the
Mhm.
glory and everything because you're by design. But
Yeah.
it's just that sometimes like people like you don't get the
Mm-hmm.
flowers that they
Like,
deserve, like
until
when
it's
they
too
should
late.
get them. You should hear that and know how you impact people. And that's why I go out of my way to tell you that as often as I can think to do so, because I don't ever want you to feel like I take your friendship for granted in any kind of way. Like I see you and I appreciate you, and I don't have anybody else in my life who is at all like you, or that I would even entrust with half the things we talk about. You know,
Exactly. That's it. That's the facts. There's a lot
And
of stuff
I
I wish
appreciate both of y'all for that too, because again, y'all do pour into me those, and it do, help to stay encouraging, not feel like things are in vain. And y'all, I'm sure
I
I've talked to y'all about friend things, trying to figure that part out, and the ones that went away and all this other stuff. And you're like, what happened? And y'all like, forget them. For y'all to really to like, you know, it's not in vain, and it all happens for a reason. And I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for y'all just as y'all are thankful for me. So, I'm trying to be better about accepting so I'll just say thank you or something.
the compliments.
Lord,
Yeah.
oh, you're welcome. How about that?
Well, look, the show ended up being
I'm
a
joking.
class for Summer's life because the Lord knew that I needed it. Okay.
Listen, this might be a clip in that future show coming.
Okay, like the gems that y'all dropped, I'm glad that we recorded it because I'm gonna have to play them back.
No,
You
but I
know,
mean, it was for me too because, like I said, I have to. It goes along what you were just saying from Miracle. Don't take what you have for granted. I can't take my husband for granted. He's
yeah,
not guaranteed to me. Like he married me, it's gonna be. I mean, by the state of Texas. Well, no, we was married in Florida. So by the state of Florida, we could divorce if we want.
yeah,
But so he's not mine. For eternity. But there's work and effort that has to be put into it, and that's something that I need to hear. That once again, I'm trying to do anyway, but words and actions are two different things. And so, like I said, as much as I love and appreciate Miracle, but I won't text her. That doesn't make any sense. So I can tell you one thing, but it's my actions that's going to show you how I truly feel. So that's something for me to be a better friend, to be the sister to you that you are to me, and then to be a better wife to my husband, because y'all are great people. Y'all are people that I would not want to lose. Y'all are, see, my family is one thing. Like, they don't have a choice. We all got the same blood, the same grandparents. You know what I mean? They don't, but Miracle and my husband are people that I chose to have in my life, and they chose to have in theirs. And there's nothing keeping you grounded to me. So these are relationships I have to foster, work, and put an effort into to let y'all know that I need you.
Yeah.
So I
I
need
don't
you.
feel slighted by either one of y'all. I feel, you know what I mean? Like I said earlier, I feel like the type of, maybe I'm just used to friendships like that where we may not talk all the time, but that doesn't really matter. As soon as we talk again, it picks back up. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons why it works out that way, but
It can't be a month though. I mean, I'm just saying it took me a month. Even if I didn't
But
see
you
I
it,
are
just
on the
know.
it should have
road.
taken me a month to message
Yeah,
you.
I was
So
like, maybe she busy, you know,
I
have
wasn't
something going on.
I'm
But
not that damn busy. Like, you know, even if I sent you a message before I fell asleep and answered you when I woke up, like, it's just me. Like I said, being lazy, being in my own world, and
Yeah.
that's not cool. It's not okay, and it's not okay. And even if you called me out on it one day, I'm like, sis, you're right. Like, I'm not gonna feel no ways about it, because that's a true relationship. It's not just gonna be all roses and
Yeah, all the time.
sunshine. It's for us
hmm,
to check each other. It's accountability. And so there are gonna be
hmm,
times that you need me because I didn't check in. You be like, oh, I don't want to bother MD because she hadn't messaged me in a while. Like, no, that's not okay. If you need me, you're supposed to know that I'm gonna be there. So
yeah.
I
I have
love
to
it.
here point blank on both ends. So thank y'all.
Oh, I'm so glad you hopped on.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was great
I
meeting you.
really am. I mean, it feels like I didn't just meet you, you
I know,
know,
right? That's the
so that's
power of
cool.
therapy.
I love to give the glory and honor to the Lord, okay? All I did was say, let's celebrate 1,000 videos. That's all I did.
Yeah,
That's what brought us together. So I'm trying. I just told Miracle, like, I gotta, like, we passed through Atlanta, on our way to deliveries, but we've
and
never had
stop.
time to find
Yeah.
everything. So the next time I actually get to stop, yeah, we're gonna have to definitely meet up.
Ooh, let me know in advance, cause child, so I can get in my car. Child, for real.
Okay, I got y'all.
All right.
All
Well, I
right.
love you. Don't let anybody tell you different, cause they lying. And and I'm gonna go and eat this grass
Yep, you
and
enjoy your class, girl. I
have me
appreciate
some chamomile tea and do my thistle.
Now that
But
sounds
of course we gonna be in tune and in touch because
All right. Well,
you
Monday.
gotta you now that we've already assessed why you're the one that has to choose the dude. Um, I'm all fired up again.
All right. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's get it
Well,
done.
congrats again. You're amazing. Keep throwing these out
yeah,
here because you're a
congratulations.
life changer. And like I said, you are creating a platform for people to get that raw information, that real authenticity, and keep being you, keep doing what you're doing. Of course, I'm gonna be right here supporting you along the way, as you keep being awesome and amazing.
I appreciate you.
Ditto to
Appreciate
all of
you.
that.
What was that?
Oh, I said ditto to all of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I thought I was gonna have another little guest to come and knock on the door. I know you,
NJ,
MD. You can't see you, but
friend.
is this little guy still up?
Oh no, he's not.
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Friend, friend.
So to
Say
see
hello to everybody.
it. Hey, NJ, you so
Say
big.
hello.
Don't,
It's
don't act like you don't want
Auntie
to speak.
MD and Miss Summer.
Miss Summy.
So cute.
We're
I
gonna say
know.
hello to everyone. And that's MD is here in the black. There you go.
Yeah.
What you call it? either Miss MD or Auntie MD. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about Mommy's videos? Do you have anything to say about Mommy 1,000 videos? It's celebration for the 1,000 videos. Do you have anything to say?
I want the celebration.
You want the celebration?
Yeah.
Of course he did. This is a man.
Do you want your own show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He's
Something.
bigger than last time you seen him.
Oh yeah.
How old are you now? Tell him how old you are now. Do you remember?
Please,
No, you what? You're 4 now, kid. 4 years old.
Oh my God.
You
Boy,
too big.
Too big.
Gotta see him there before, you know. All right. I didn't have none of them yet. Okay, bye-bye. Say bye, Jessica.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, Miracle.
Thank you,
Call
sister.
him Miss Summer.
Okay, her Miss Summer.
Nice meeting you, Miss Summer Sky. I
You
like both.
too. I can't
Every
wait
time I
till
go
you
by.
come through.
I
And
know.
you know,
I definitely let y'all know the next time I get some time through there.
okay. Be safe
Okay.
out there though.
And let me know if you ever want to be on GSL, sis. I'm trying to get this girl chat together. And Summer, I ain't even talking to you no more because I'm just kidding. Oh, she went away. Oh,
Yeah.
I was just kidding. I was just joking. But I ain't talking to you, and then she go. Unless did she say bye? Okay, say bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye-bye. Thank you. Let me focus. Girl, I'm talking about the dramatic little fall and everything. This is why I can't see him. I just want to be able to wrap up with y'all, but yeah. Let me know if you want to be on GSL, sis. Have a girl chat, panel discussion. No,
As long as my face ain't gotta be on there, I'm good.
Lord,
I went to the radio.
well, you know what? I did do an interview with the clandestine author, and the difference is I know you in real life, and it was a little weird. I ain't gonna lie. Because it was like I didn't know him, and he got to see me, and he was there, and we were talking like this, and it just was like it felt like it just didn't feel fair, you know.
I can see that.
So that's probably one of the most unique interviews that I had on here.
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
Yeah, he's one of those anonymous authors and whatnot. But a lot of cool conversations on GSL, y'all. By all means, check us out. If you guys want to support things scrolling. Throughout the whole night, all the names of different people that came on the show. 100-some people, sis. Like, oh my goodness. But I think y'all know at this point, I mean, we gave y'all enough content, I guess, so tonight. Y'all done celebrated with me real good. So y'all can hear the rest of the story about GSL. Y'all can listen to the juice and everything like that. But anything else you want to say, MD? Before I let the people go?
Congratulations to GSL and Miss Miracle. 1,000 episodes, and can't wait to see what's coming up in the future.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody that tuned in and showed love. Appreciate you all. Anybody catch the replay, we appreciate you all too. Thank you to everybody that supports in any aspect. You like, subscribe. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. See, thank you, Laura. Okay, so one thing I was planning to do is we do have monthly supporters, and I was gonna do a raffle. I'm not sure what I'm gonna give yet, but y'all know I got access to all kind of good stuff. You know, I got my, the wine. I got the nail polish with Unwind Self Care. I got access to our friends over there at Romantic Lessons. So there's a lot of options. Bomb, a lot of different people that I kind of collaborate with. And so let's do a quick spin real quick on the wheel of supporters and see who's going to get something from your girl. I don't know what yet. I'll announce that later, but tonight I'll at least announce the monthly supporters and spin the wheel. So here are the ladies, all ladies that are supporting monthly. Miss Benita Porter, Marilyn Dabney, my mother-in-law, Burnett Says Briley, my mom, Evelyn O'Neill, and Michaela Juniel. These ladies support monthly, and I got them all on this wheel here. And we're gonna see somebody's gonna get something. I would say one of my books or something, but some of them have already bought my book, so I don't know. We'll see. But shout out to all those ladies. I appreciate all the support. Appreciate you all supporting GSL Monthly. And somebody's gonna get something tonight, or well, not tonight, but y'all gonna get something from me. So here it is, spinning. You guys can see. Did I press it? No, I didn't. Here we go. I'm spinning here. Somebody's gonna win, and it is my mother-in-law, Miss Burnett Sage Riley, is gonna get something. So thank you for being a monthly supporter. And I'll have to reach out to her and see what she might like. But as for everybody else, thank you all so much for tuning in. Everybody that tuned in and watched it to this point, I appreciate you all. And till next time, I guess I'll see y'all when I do the juice on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.